1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
on Today 95.1 FM.
All right, good afternoon and welcome to today's Hustle on Today 95.1 FM. I am Kalada and I will be your anchor for the next 2 hours, so to say, because today's Hustle runs from 1 up until 3 p.m. And we talk full development basically on the show. We've divided the show into two. We've got the first part we call the trending stories, and we've got the second part we call, we like to focus, right? We don't have a specific name for it, but we like to focus on certain issues that affect you and I. Basically, we talk to see how we can develop our communities, how we can develop, Nigeria as a country, and just make society a better place for every one of us who lives and does business in Nigeria. But then again, a lot of things lined up for conversations today, talking about the president calling for dialogue amongst the youths. Also talking about the Minister of Power coming out to say that this present president is the most youth-friendly president Nigeria has ever had. And then we will, of course, shift the gears to other conversation like during the weekend, something did happen. There was a report where it said that loots were being recovered, or rather returned, by the looters in Osun State, and I'm wondering the science behind it. I mean, what could have made the looters just, out of magnanimity, return the things they looted back to the government? We will discuss that. One would also discuss some other issues. I'm trying to look through the conversation. But basically, for the second part of the show, we will be taking a trip to Oyibo local government area. You probably did watch the interview on AIT granted by the governor of Rivers State, and he talked about several issues there. And we will be looking at it, and we would have someone who lives there, who is probably, would I say, popular to an extent there. He's from that place. And we will be talking to him over the phone, and he would try to give us a feel. We would be feeling the pulse of Oyibo as a local government area concerning all of the activities, violent activities, mayhem that has been going on in the past few days, or even up to a week or more. That we will be talking about it. But then again, I've got Wealth Wilson in the studio. Good afternoon to you and welcome.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Happy New Month, by the way.
All right. Happy New Month. I forgot about that one because the month is not starting well for me. But then again, all right, so we will start with the conversations like I already ruled out. The first one that we will talk about is, the president coming out to talk to the youth, so to say. Yesterday was National Youth Day, I believe. And the president was saying dialogue. We need to, get this done through dialogue, and that the youth should not go back to the streets based on the fact that a lot of people have already lost their lives. The youth are saying, see, we'll go back to the streets and we'll try to get the government to do what we've asked them to do. But the governor is saying, or rather, the president is saying that they should use other channels. They should, organize their demands and see how they can, push it out there, and just make sure that they don't go back to the street and cause mayhem, and then there's looting and there's destruction and all of that, and people are losing their lives all over. But what do you make of the move by the president?
First of all, the truth of the matter is that we've seen how the protest has escalated over the weeks and everything. So the president is in the right to say that, maybe protest hasn't been the best way after all to get this done. But then again, when you look at it on the flip side, what has been the easiest and fastest way to get through to the government?
Protest, strike.
See? So
because dialogue has not worked. ASU has been dialoguing for God knows when.
And that's the truth of the matter. The protest and the strike seems to be the fastest way to get their attention and have them, on their toes and quite active or even reactive, as the case may be, as we've seen so far with the NSAS thing. So I do think that, while we're trying to preach to the youth that, it's time for you to just lay low or look for other avenues or ways that you could get the government to listen to you or work on your behalf. Don't go back on the streets. So you have to give them a better avenue. Show them that you're listening, or show them that whenever they voice out their displeasure or grievances about certain things and how government is being run in the country, that you are, at your toes quickly to respond and get it done.
Now, first of all, when the president came out with the speech that everybody was asking for, he did not mention certain things, and people said he was not in any kind of connect with the people or the happenings in Nigeria, right? But now he has come out to make this speech. Do you think the NSAS protests, I'm talking about the aftermath, yes, we saw wanton destructions, but do you think it is beginning to cause a ripple effect in government? Because even the president is now saying, come, let's dialogue, let's talk, because conversation is the only way out.
Well, the truth of the matter is that, as I said, the protest has, gotten the attention of not just the president, but the governors of every state in the country. And that means that it's either they start to think of a reactive way in which they can, calm the situation, or it continues, and they know what that means for their economic situation in the country generally, and for basically every activity that goes on in the country. So I do think that, first of all, the government of the day should try as much as it can to either reach out to them via responding to all their demands as swiftly as possible, if for the ones that could be quickly done, and for the ones that cannot be immediately seen in terms of results, show them that steps are being put in place, implementations are following to reach the core conclusion of whatever demands they've made.
So you're saying dialogue will work? Because I'm skeptical. I'm sorry.
Well, I am not saying that dialogue will work. I am saying that since the government do not want them to go back on the street, the easiest way to get them to even want to sit down on a round table with you to discuss whatsoever is to show them that you are keen in interest to reach all their demands, whether by implementing the ones that are nearby to reach in terms of results, or putting in steps forward to make sure that the ones that are far-fetched, you are working towards achieving it.
For me, it's confusing. It's a conundrum, because I'm looking at the government on one hand, and I'm like, we've been telling them change things, and we've been dialoguing, and doctors have to go on strike before they're listened to. ASU has been on a 7-month strike. Sorry, what's the other one? Doctors, and that's enemy, right? There's the resident doctors. Now I'm hearing ASUP to strengthening. That's the polytechnic. We're seeing non-academic staff or senior. There's a name they call it, SANU, in the universities, also threatening to go on strike. And it looks as if dialogue doesn't seem to be a thing that works for. I remember a time when they were dialoguing, and a minister for health came out and said, not everybody's going to be going to practice as a doctor. Some of you can go into agriculture and all. So dialogue, for me, I really do not know. But then again, the president has a point. A lot of people have lost their lives, and it's very sensitive out there. There is the ethnic coloration territory. There is the anger from people who have lost properties. So it just might result in it just might result in a clash that you probably cannot handle. And maybe the president is right in that stead. Uh, but then pushing the conversation a little bit further. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Pushing the conversation a little bit further. Um, ASU ASU itself is complaining, or rather, there's a report on the Punch newspaper. I beg your pardon. I'm sorry. I'm just a little bit under the weather, so I'm getting things mixed up. So much pain going through my body right now. But the point is, that there is a report on the Punch newspaper that says that ASU has been unable to reach an agreement. I mean, they have been the ones dialoguing, and they have been doing that for 7 months. And the highlight of their disagreement, of course, it is the IPPIS. But according to the report on Punch newspaper, modern settle, or why is it that the remaining people are the ones holding the students back? I'm thinking.
Well, the truth of the matter with ASU and the negotiations going on with the federal government is one that, is very confusing, honestly. I think that's where my conundrum lies, not even with the protest and all of that. I do feel that, first of all, you cannot be back and forth with things that don't just involve the organization or the institution in itself, but extends to other people. I mean, I think in the course of all of this negotiation with the federal government and ASU, they seem not to be considering the Nigerian tertiary institution student who probably has been at home doing nothing for so long.
For 7 months now, yeah.
And who knows, in a couple of months, we'll be having this extend for 1 year. And then you would ask yourself the question, what's really going on and how are we going to come to a gainful negotiation between the federal government and ASU? I mean, first of all, we had the idea that task thing. And then we thought that maybe this was a headway because that's the only thing I could have, categorized.
But remember when we said it was fishy, it might not work.
Now, you see, the thing is, if you are going to say you consider the UTAS or you would look into the IPPIS and amend or add whatever it is the lecturers are saying is not there, then maybe you should do that quickly. And now you're trying to get the youth to dialogue with you the same way the ASU has been dialoguing with the federal government for lingering almost
and
1
so
year.
the youths might have their own UTAS problem.
So maybe we'll be having lots of tables to dialogue on or dialogue at, and then in the end of the day, who knows how long it would take for us to reach a common ground, because negotiation in this country is like it takes a long time. I mean, even a birthing mother would have been able to put to bed by now.
I mean, talking about the problem between the federal government and ASU, if he was a child, he probably will be 11 years, 12 years, even more. I mean, what am I saying? He probably will be like 20 years already.
The truth of the matter is that, with fixing up the facilities and our institutions across the country, it might not be something that one administration will be able to do. So exploring other options, such as making sure that each administration that comes looks into the well-being and the facilitation rather of maybe 2 to 3 federal schools. And then it continues to spread that way, together with the help of the state government, who would be making, significant effort and development for the state-owned schools. And before you know it, we have our schools up and running.
Guess what? They are building new ones, or they are proposing to build new ones.
That's the thing that boggles my mind the most. We've not been able to make the ones existing yet, up to standard, and then we're working on new ones. What's the possibility or probability that those new ones would not experience the same hiccup that we're having with?
But that's the Nigerian thing, when there's a problem, you create a new thing. I mean, create a new version of that thing. So the problem, it goes away for a brief moment,
and then it resurfaces again, and then you create another.
That's what we do.
It's just the fact that we've been too basic with our solutions, for me, is quite disturbing. Honestly, we keep preaching a Nigeria that we hope would be better by 2030, right? And maybe even 2023, as some persons would put it. And then I'm not seeing anything that we're really doing that would, facilitate or push that motion that we have, that we want a better Nigeria.
Okay. These online newspapers can be very annoying sometimes. But looking at the report on the Punch newspaper, you would see a sub caption there where it says 57,000 of the federal lecturers out of 71,700 have already registered for IPPIS. So I'm still yet wondering. And of course, the federal government over the weekend blamed ASU for the lingering strike, up until now. But let's move on. Someone says that Buhari, or rather youth-friendly president since the inception of Nigeria. I know some of the presidents and head of states that have ruled. We're not born that time, some of them. But let's focus 1999 till date. Do you think, or let's even forget about the rest. Let's look at the president's administration. Do you think he has been able to, be a youth-friendly president? I mean,
Well, I
he
think-
has a lot of programs, by the way, if you want to put that into perception and context. It's got the Empower program. It's got the 75
Youth
billion
investment thingy they mentioned.
something like that. So, looking at it, do you agree? I mean, you told our youths go into farming. You make money from there. I mean, it's got programs.
You see, the truth of the matter is that I am not all the youth in Nigeria, for crying out loud.
That's why I asked what you think.
we would ask this question
That
to
is
the
why I
number
asked you what
of
you think.
people who came out to talk about
Now-
unemployment, talk about bad government, and all of that. Those are
Are
the
you
people
seeing
that
how
we're supposed
wealth is stressing me? I told her I'm not feeling too well, and I put her on the spot. And every time I put wealth on the spot, like a snake, she has a way of slithering, away from. I asked you a question. Do you think you're a youth? I am a youth. Do you think the president is a youth-friendly president?
Does my opinion matter? I mean, this is a this is a platform for people's opinion.
Oh
Now, as I
my,
said,
oh
this
my.
would be a question for those persons who feel that the unemployment rate is still high. I mean, you remember Chris Ngige had mentioned that our youth are unemployable and unemployed,
And of
over
course,
100 million
it
of them.
was still the same president that said our youths are lazy Nigerian youth.
Maybe that was him trying to make us sit up and all of that, you know.
And he has made us sit up, by
One
the
who
way.
cares for you would always chastise you so that you can sit up.
Okay, so he's the most youth-friendly president.
Am
then.
I saying that?
I mean, that's what I did use.
Well, the beauty about meaning is that it can be very flexible to
Oh my
whoever and
God,
anybody who is
oh my
listening. But
God.
then let's move on. The issue that the Rivers State government had raised, especially with the increase of payment for teachers, due to the Teachers' Day, that the president had, speculated or proposed that salaries should be increased. Seeing how useful those people are. Well, the Registrar of Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, TRCN, Professor Sheun Ajiboye, has urged state governments to key into the review of welfare packages for teachers already set for implementation by the federal government.
All right.
Now, they're saying that the sooner the better, especially for the state government. And now that the teachers have the knowing that certain incentives should be coming to them, from the federal, then it then means that state government should, as fast as possible, key into that. Now, the question still remains, do we have state government who would be able to key into this incentive as proposed by the federal government? And would this in the future or in the coming years, if all the state governments do not comply to this particular incentive directive, would this in the coming years spell doom or some sort of friction between teachers and the government?
Now, in all honesty, Governor Wike did raise very, very salient points, not being the spokesperson for the governor right now, but I'm looking at it from a very critical angle. You are the federal level, you're asking the state governments to key into, putting incentives out there for teachers. Now, these teachers are still part of the budget for the month for each of the states, and some states are telling you, see, we cannot meet up the 30,000 minimum wage. Now, there are states that only salaries and the wage bill gobs all of their monthly allocation. I don't want to do name calling so nobody comes after me tomorrow or the next, but there are states like that where 80, 90, 95% of a monthly allocation goes into paying salaries. So now you're now still asking that same state that does not produce anything, because we're not yet a producing country, are we? When you look at it from that angle, and you're telling those same people to increase the wage bill by adding incentives for teachers, it's something the federal government has to have a rethink. And like Wike said, they should have called a council meeting. All of the state governors, come and let's see how we can make this happen. If we will be reducing the money from the federal allocation, then it will be fine. We'll be able to do it. But you asking an overwhelmed system to produce might just be, a call for a
But the
breakdown.
thing is, the teachers are already buying into it. I mean, this is something that everybody has been looking forward to.
Of
Welfare
course.
packages for
Of
our
course,
teachers
of
and all
course,
of that.
of
I mean, we
course.
keep talking about the state of, salaries and welfare for these people. And they are buying into this incentive being proposed by the federal government. So don't you think that state government, one way or the other, should work it out for them? Since it's long overdue, by the way.
Do teachers need a raise? Yes. Should teachers be paid more than oil workers? Yes, they should. But we don't do this from an emotional angle, from a sentimental angle, because if you now say, oh, teachers are not properly paid, and you might just be, like I said, there might be a breakdown, because if all the money, okay, the governors now agree, then teachers are not paid, then there'll be a strike. If teachers are paid and another sector is being ignored, then there'll be a strike. So either way, there'll be a strike, or there'll be some kind of civil call or clamoring.
It will be a step-by-step address.
That is
for every
why
sphere.
I think the federal government should call a meeting and say, hey guys, let's think out on this very one.
We're not even done with minimum wage.
Okay. Now you know. Oh God, thank you for bringing that. I mean, Labor was listing out states just immediately after the lockdown that have failed to pay a minimum wage. The minimum wage signed into law sometime, was it last year? Or was it last year? I think it was last year. And up until now, no, they've not been able to pay. So think about it from that angle. But let's move on now, yeah?
All right. There's something that has been, quite catchy for everybody on social media and everything, and that has been with the law enforcement officers.
Okay.
Last week, that discussion about officers, I think some officers didn't like that.
But before that very, comment from the, and I think the PSC shouldn't have done about it, right? But before that, coming from the PSC, remember we still talked about it on Friday.
Of course.
Where, what's it called now? The IGP said it was going to be going around, police commands, to talk to police officers, because apparently their morale was very low and he needed to find a way to boost it. And that is what we saw. And the PSC shouldn't have come out to make that statement, because he just worsened things. I mean, we also, like you made reference to earlier, some 2 weeks ago, we talked about whether it was the morale or whether it was them being angry about the fact that, hey guys, you guys think you guys can riot against us. You guys are complaining. I know, okay, come and see who protect you now. And we had that debate, that back and forth. And then you come out to make this statement again. You're just worsening the situation. Things. Yeah,
because from what we see on the Vanguard, we can't guarantee security during the Yuletide. I did say. Then one would question, I mean, as I said, it got a lot of, people talking, especially on social media. And the thought of, remember how sensitive this particular profession is. Now, what message would this be sending out to, criminal elements in the country? And what message would this be sending to the average Nigerian?
But have you noticed that even though the police seems non-functional or dysfunctional, we've not really heard about...
Please don't wake them up.
Okay. All right then. All right. Well, you know where I was going to. Okay.
Now, the truth of the matter for me is that I do believe that this is part of the orientation that a lot of these officers get while being recruited or joining the force, right? I mean, during the orientation, you're being told that no matter what happens, it is in your duty and your responsibility to ensure that lives and properties are being protected, right? Now, if this is happening and then the PSC are tried maybe in their own way, even though you feel that they shouldn't have come out to talk about the dismissal of officers who would desert their work, which of course is true, right? I mean, reminding them of the obvious is not for me a bad thing. You understand?
All right.
So I do feel that it is very wrong to have, it's just a feeling anyway, law enforcement officers come out to say that they may not be able to guarantee security during the Yuletide. And this is very close by. Yeah. And you don't know what that would spell for the average Nigerian the rate of criminality.
But they may not be able to. Because now, from what I've deduced, I mean, I've looked at it from all angles.
No, wait. When we say may, there's a possibility. They say they can't. They cannot guarantee.
My point is, I'm going somewhere now. Now, when you look at the situation from different angles, let's look at it first of all from the IGP's angle, where it said the morale of these guys are down. Let's also look at it from the other angle, where some of them are good policemen, not all of them are bad policemen, and then you make them feel so terrible there's going to be, when you're doing a good job, even though you know that the system is bad, and then someone makes it look like you've never done a good job before, there is also going to be that feeling of, why am I wasting my time? But now, going beyond all of that, they are attacks. They are intentional attacks. I'm not taking side here. I mean, the police, if they have been brutal, they should be called out for being brutal, right? And that was what the hashtag NSAS protest was all about. But then again, going to attack them and kill them and make their children fatherless or motherless, and make their wives not have a husband all of a sudden. It's crazy. And if you were the one, you would look for the simplest way to defend yourself, which is absconding.
Now, the truth of the matter is that it will be very selfish of anybody to feel that they're not humans as well.
All right.
But then, as I said, certain professions are quite sensitive, right? And certain profession, the kind of orientation that you get beforehand is that people may likely not really appreciate. It's just like government, right?
Right.
You have the president and a faction of people who say that he's not doing enough, he's a failure, he should resign. But he doesn't, because he has taken that oath that he was going to be there to defend the sovereignty of the country.
Who are you talking about again? Who are you talking about? The president? The president, if he's not doing well, can resign, no matter how sensitive it is.
Now he can, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, as I said, now with the pressure coming with the small faction, or I don't know if it's a majority faction, but with the pressure coming to this particular faction, right? You don't see the president saying that, yes, there are lots of people who do not like what I'm doing, so let me just immediately resign. You understand?
Right.
I mean, you stay there and you prove to the people that your government is working, isn't it? Now, certain profession are like that. I mean, you get the orientation from the get-go that, you know what, no matter what happens, it's like being faced with criminals, and then you say, oh, you have to protect yourself as well, and you run away. Meanwhile, it is your duty to face or go head-on with this criminal.
So
you understand?
even when the people that you're saving from the criminals now turns their back against
Now,
you.
the truth
Wait. I'm asking the question. Even when the people, now you're fighting criminals, right? Then the people turn their back and say, why are you fighting criminals?
The truth of the matter is that it is hurting to see that the people that you want to defend are the ones who turn around and say that you don't even defend them enough. But then if you look at all the agitations from the people, they're also saying that, you know what, reform the police, train them well, pay them well, so that they don't have any issues.
And I agree. Like
So
I said, I wouldn't take sides on this very one. But the truth is, and the truth remains, that you don't cry more than the bereaved. Now, the people who you're saving from criminals or protecting from criminals are now turning, and then they are putting their eyes or their hands or their fingers in your eyes. And what I mean by that is they're going about burning police stations, killing police officers, burning police vehicles. It's crazy. Drinking some palm wine and cruising to life, because you know what the popular saying, I can't come and kill myself. But moving on now, Wealth. Let's talk about the CSO or CSOs in Nigeria demanding for the sack of the service chiefs over worsening insecurity. Yet again, we're back at that juncture where we are asking the service chiefs to go. Do you think if the president really wants to pacify people, they should start from there? Or do you think it's not the fault of the service chiefs that things have gone the way they have gone? It's just that our bandits and hoodlums, or rather the bandits and hoodlums we have in Nigeria, have just become more creative, and we need to give room for the service chiefs to catch up.
You see, I was going to say, I mean, with all of the bashing and the agitations from people for the service chiefs to be removed, I'm thinking that they too should abscond. I mean, they shouldn't do their job, because I mean, the people they are trying to protect want them out of their office. But you see, it doesn't happen that way. So I
nice
just feel again, that it is.
The state panels of inquiry, and when they tried to visit the Bonny camp, the military camp there that were said to have deployed men to Lekki Tollgate during the day of the shooting, the Lekki shooting. First of all, they were refused entrance into it. Then they were later allowed after like 30 minutes or thereabout. Now they've come out to say, see, they cannot be summoned by the panel of inquiry because the panel does not have the authority to do so. But then I'm confused because, sorry, someone correct me. Who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces? It is the president. And the president said, I am fully backing the state's panels of inquiry. Do you know what I mean? You know how it is, in the days of old when somebody puts a stamp on a letter, the emperor, for instance, puts a stamp on the letter. The emperor has spoken, even if he's not dead. Once the letter is taken, and now Buhari stamps his person, his office, his commander-in-chief powers on the panel of inquiry. Do you think the army is stoking fire, or coming out blatantly to say we cannot be summoned by the panel of inquiry? We will only be invited by the Lagos state government because they called us out on that night. Are you seeing? I don't know if you've seen the politics that is being played right now.
I feel it's a no-brainer. First of all, I mean, if the president had ordered that an investigative panel be set up to look into whatever had happened in all states, I don't see why the army can come out and say that, you know what, they won't be answerable to the investigate. It's like saying that what the president has put, on ground or ordered to be put on ground is
a nullity.
Yes. So I don't see the need for all of that, first off, and I really hope that this is not them trying to meander their way away from the very obvious.
Talking about meandering, they say they can only report to the Lagos state government. Apart from, is this a back and forth between the Lagos state government and the army, especially that particular battalion? I mean, you called us out, you asked us to go there, we shot, and now you're throwing us under the bus. Do you think that's the case now? Do you think that is what it is?
Well,
I mean, look at it. Look at it. So Wealth come do the show, and then you come do the show, and NBC is finding 5 million. You say, no, I was not the one who did. I was not the one who did the show. It was Scarlett. I don't know if you get. I don't know if you get where I'm coming from. That's what is happening between NBC and. How did I say just that? We're going to talk about NBC very soon. That's what's going to happen between the army and the Lagos state government, because Lagos state government, you watch the CNN, except, and you're like, yeah, the army was there. Who did the shooting? The army.
The army.
And now the army is coming and say we can only show if the Lagos state government has the mind, they should invite us for the panel, and then we're going to bear it all out and how it all happened. That's what I'm deducing.
Oh, well, the thing is, the easiest way out of this is that the Lagos state government invites the army, with, to the, presence of the state inquiry panel being set up, and everybody there.
Okay, say it as it is.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, they said they've been able to see the footage, isn't it?
Which has taken oh come on, Sun newspaper, leave me alone already. Which has taken up to 12 days now.
Well,
or 13 days now.
We'll keep waiting.
And we've not seen the footage.
We'll keep waiting.
I mean, you want to see Today footage? I can get it for you in next 30 seconds.
Well, they're trying to make sure that it's not photoshopped or even
Interesting.
doctored. That's the one.
Interesting. Talking about the NBC, like I mentioned earlier, Serap and 261 concerned Nigerians have taken the NBC to court, and they're saying, we no go agree, we no go agree. Government, we no go agree this time. And why? The fine, brought upon Channels Television, African Independent Television, and Arise News TV, where they were asked to pay 3 million naira each for coverage of the hashtag #EndSARS protest. And we talked about it some couple of days ago, I think some 2 weeks ago. And Serap and these other guys are saying, see, this is not right. This is authoritarianism in display. And the part of the NBC code that allows for this is contrary or contradicting, I beg your pardon, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Do you think this is a great move? I mean, do you think Serap is right? Serap says it's fighting for the emancipation of our freedom to speak. Do you think this is the case?
Oh, well, the truth of the matter is that a lot of persons share the sentiments that Serap has against the NBC and the finding of some of this broadcasting, corporations. So I do feel that, first of all, I mean, the NBC had mentioned that nobody should embarrass the Nigerian government and all of that.
Not in the way a lot of Nigerians are looking at it, but go ahead. Then.
So I do feel that, I mean, it's a suit. They will take it to the court, and the court will justify whoever, is in the right or not.
Okay. Talking about the NBC and Lai Mohammed, remember when Lai Mohammed came out and said, see, we're going to regulate social media, and a lot of people translated it to mean banning on social media. Lai Mohammed has come out again and said, see, we're not banning social media. We're just going to regulate it to ensure that there is no fake news. And then when Lai Mohammed keeps hammering on regulation, what comes to my head is, how are they going to regulate social media? Because social media works from your phone, from your device. Are they going to stop the internet from working? Are they going to ask the service providers from? I'm trying to understand how they intend, or will they set up laws to make social media's not social media platform, I beg your pardon, not take certain kind of information or immediately an information fire. I'll give you an example. Some of the things trending on social media about Oyibo massacre or Oyibo crisis might not be true. Some of the things you see on the incidents happening in the north might not. I use the word might not be true. So when we look at it, for instance, we will talk about it in details. Don't worry, I've got my information. So the point is, social media is a wildfire, and therefore, we cannot just let it go like that. But then again, we know the kind of government that we have, and we cannot yet again trust them, to regulate our ability to speak, because sometimes we feel that they might try to gag it and all of that stuff. But let's wrap up conversations on a lighter note. On Thursday last week, a report did come out, and the report was about recovered looted palliatives in Osun State. And according to the Osun State government, that these people who looted it were given a grace period to return the loot to to a certain location or locations, and this was the way that they were going to evade being arrested. And then I'm thinking, the same Nigeria that I know, somebody has struggled and has gone to the warehouse and has stolen 2 cartons of Indomie, for instance, and a bag of rice. Would it have been so difficult to have disposed the bags that carried COVID on it? I'm thinking in my head. And then it takes me back to the very conversation we once heard. And the conversation was centered on the fact that these people who started the looting might just have been, underline the words, might just have been political thugs. Going back to the statement by the ex-DSS director that was on the Punch newspaper some weeks ago, you just might think it from that direction, because first of all, how were they able to locate the warehouses simultaneously across Nigeria? You look at these things, and then now in Osun State they are returning. In Lagos State, there is a warning: return the palliatives or else. In Calabar, or rather in Cross River, there's the same thing. Even the president dished out similar warning and asked people to return looted palliatives. So I'm thinking in my head, does this give credence to the conspiracy theory that we once shared on the show, where we said this might just have been a systematic way of ending the end SARS protests? That's a conspiracy theory in my head, and that's a question I'm asking. Do you think a lot of this looting, destruction, a lot of the things that went wrong as a result of the end SARS protests was a systematic way by some people, not government, not necessarily government, but maybe politicians,
just a group somewhere.
Somewhere, to just make sure that the people don't wake up to that point where all of these politicians are held accountable?
You see, the truth of the matter is that this is Nigeria, and whether we like it or not, or whether we want to tell ourselves the truth or not, people would always take advantage of anything in this country. So it may not be far-fetched, that conspiracy that, certain persons, maybe politicians or groups, whatever, had, instigated all of this just to make nonsense of the protest. And so that now people have, the mixed feelings about whether or not the protest was worth it and all of that. So the truth is, if we want to look at it, I mean, how in the first place did these people all of a sudden discover the warehouses? How all of a sudden were they able to, gather the momentum and the need to go and break into the warehouses and all of that? So all of these questions might be, something that we have to take into cognizance and all of that. But then again, as I said, this is Nigeria. Everything that happens, somebody somewhere might likely want to take advantage of it for his own good or for the detriment of his opposition.
All right then. You can call it right now. It's that time when you get to air your views on the issues that we've reviewed. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm going through so much pain right now. But you can join the conversation like I already said, 0817 0000951 and 0810 Your text messages to the number 0701933962. Wealth Wilson, Canada in the studio. And that's the first part of today's hustle. We'll be looking at trending issues. First caller. 95.1 FM. We lost that call. The call is back at 95.1 FM. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Mr. Canada, good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon to you.
I want to contribute, in the issue of this. I want to, if our governor...
In the issue of what?
Oyibo.
We have not started talking about Oyibo. We said second half of the show.
Okay.
So yeah. It's not in the trending story. Listen and you get to find out what's in the trending story. This one says, "Good day, Canada." And wealth. I do not know what good worry has done to the youth that would qualify him as the most youth-friendly president. Is it the 30,000 naira empower thing that meant nothing compared to what they are looting, which looting has impoverished Nigerians? How much is school fees, pump price of fuel, VAT, $1 to a naira, electricity tariff, price of foodstuff today? Today, Nigeria is the world's capital of poverty, the hungriest people on earth. Are the youths exempted from all these? For me, Buhari is unfortunately the most unfriendly youth president since Nigeria was put together by Lugard, whereas all these policies ain't youth-friendly. Canada, only a Raji fine face in Qatar. You seem to be a very strong critic of the president, but then again, that's your WhatsApp message there. Let's see. Do we have text messages? No, we don't. So back to the phone lines and keep your calls coming in and let's talk for development. Who's here? Let's find out. 95.1 FM.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Yes, my name is Mr. Osita. I'm calling from Aba, Abia State.
All right, all the way from Aba, Osita, welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. I love the topic you are discussing, a lot of topics actually. Like, let me say about the court issues with the NBC and the sanction of some of the channels like Channel Station and other TV stations. I want to say that Rai Mohammed coming to say that they want to regulate the social media. My brother, let's tell ourselves the truth. You know that if we start the social media, by today, the army would have totally denied the electric shooting. Are you aware? That's one of the benefits. Now, are you also aware that Lai Mohammed government...
But just so you know, the army has not accepted that they shot at Lekki. Okay. They said they were there. I have not seen a report where they said they have accepted the shooting. They said they were there.
As far as the governor of that state has declared that in his own state, which is the chief security officer of that state, that army did the shooting. That is all of us who agree with him.
It still has to be proven. It does. It's not word. It still has to be proven.
But you know that in River State, not a weekend came up to say that IPOP.
It wasn't yes on weekend. It was first of all the police. Get your facts right. It was first of all the I brought the report. I brought the report here today. I mean, I read the report here, and I'm telling you that it was first the police who came out to say, and then the governor followed suit.
They are quick to do the investigation, but they are quick to do the killing investigation. Let's go ahead.
All right.
Now, let's go to the police, whatever I call them, the PC of the thing.
No, you said. Summarize. Okay, go ahead. Summarize, please.
They cannot guarantee the security of the people during the December period. Are you telling me now that the army that have been catching a lot of hell in Boronu and they are still securing that place, even securing a lot of northern parts of this country? They have not withdrawn from their service. And police is coming to tell you because they were attacked when people were trying to defend themselves.
All right.
and they're saying that they cannot guarantee our security. We are paying them from our tax.
You have
and
a point.
They are telling us that they cannot guarantee. This country.
All right then. All right then. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We've got to move on now. Thank you very much for your comments. Let's give room for other people to add their views, and you're getting all rounded up as well. 95.1fm. What's your name?
Yeah, Kalada, good afternoon.
Sounds like AB from
You're very right.
Rumukrishi or something like that, yeah?
Actually, right now I'm at Choba. I'm working.
All right, then. Yeah. Welcome. Welcome to my area.
Thank
Welcome.
You.
All right, then.
Yeah. I want to take the police saying they will not guarantee security this year tide. And then the issue of the military saying they will never appear before the judicial panel.
Except invited by the Lagos State government.
Except invited by the governor or government of Lagos State. This is very, very, in fact, I won't say it's funny, but I think I would say it is hilarious. Because honestly, I'm being forced to begin to throw the line of thoughts that these security operatives or officers may know something that we do not know.
Okay.
Because for me, when a governor becomes superior to the commander-in-chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that the military is, owes allegiance. Because the military, for the little I know, don't owe the governor allegiance, rather they owe the president allegiance. And so if the president gave an order for this body to be constituted to investigate what happened, the police brutality, and maybe the issue of Lekki shooting and all of that, and then the military say we will not. Mark the word. They didn't say we may not. They say we will not, except at the invitation of the Lagos State government.
All right.
So it gives you this kind of sense of reasoning that could it be there is something they know that the rest of us may not know? And then the police, saying they may not guarantee security. And at the same time, they are afraid they did this, this and that happened to them and all of that. I want to ask, please, will they equally stop paying them salaries?
All right.
Because if they continue to collect salaries and say they will not do their job, then I think they are definitely robbing the Nigerian people the more.
Right.
And if we say, that the people the police were protecting, turn their back, when the people were not protesting, the police were fighting crime. The people said, look, stop the brutality.
All right, all right, AB, we've got to go now, but thank you very much for calling in. Thank you very much, sir. All right, 95.1 FM, what's your name?
Kalada.
All right, then.
Kalada, Mr. President was never a youth president. You understand? First of all, I read the statement. Mr. President tried to commensurate with the government of Turkey over a particular issue. I cannot be able to record the issue now. Now, that was what took place in Turkey. Now, people were allegedly, a shooting spree that took place at Lekki, and Mr. President did not deem it fit to be able at least recognize the family.
But then again, he came out and said that he's trying to get his facts right. I mean, through Femi Additioner. And so he cannot be talking on issues, he knows nothing about. So maybe he has to go to... I mean, after all, when there was the bus accident that killed peoples, he made a statement.
Excuse me, Kalada. That was a cover, and Mr. President was, pressured after he statewide broadcast, and he saw the reactions of Nigeria before Premier Adesina came to try to cool the reactions and everything. That Mr. President will not look, Kalada. If not for any other thing, there is need
You understand? So for at least as a youth friendly president he so claimed, at least he should have at least commensurate with the families of the rich families of the people who lost their life. And you came up and said youth friendly for what? How? You understand? Even the 92 billion whatever, we are not even seeing that. You understand? Where is it? You understand? So for me, I think Mr. President is only friendly with the minister, not the youth. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much for calling in there. Let's push the conversation forward. Who's here now?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Ms. West.
Good afternoon to you.
I'm Sergio calling from Chokocheche.
You're welcome. Please go on.
All right, I have just two questions for the government. Now, you cannot invite us to the panel unless the Lagos State Governor invited us. Now, first of all, the Lagos State Governor said something. Who shoots the people for Lagos State Governor said Army. Now, Army say no, now Lagos State Governor bring us there. But Lagos State Governor also denied, say he no get any power to call Army from the camp, except by the president. Something like that happened. Then now, who between these three people, the president, Lagos State Governor, and the Army, those three people should be all responsible for the latest shooting, first of all. We cannot guarantee security in Utah. My brother, even now where the road there, where police know there, the road there free pass as in there before. Nobody they see for road. So even though they know if they guarantee us security, men they go sit down first and say the money supposed to pay them who want travel, go there. And how they come palliative, bros. They use that thing just to rubbish the NSAS protest. Remember what happened when the Jagaban of Lagos come back and ask one question. Say, how long will the protest have been there for the Lekki toll gate? Which is then they stop the revenue where the Lagos State they generate from that toll gate.
Okay. Go ahead.
So now they see say they stop the revenue when they generate for that toll gate. That means they make the order for the shooting for the Lekki toll gate. Then they use that news now to stop the protest. Remember when this boy been there for the street, the protest? Then first of all go open NYSC camp where been done there shut down for many months. Then now come call the ASU, say they want to talk to the ASU and settle the ASU. Then now so that waiting them means so that they will take the youth out of the street.
All
Because of waiting them is find all possible means so that the youth will go out from the street. When they robbing the protest, they know them. Now make them turn and violence. Now come turn onto the youth head. I want to remind Buhari one thing. Say the cry of for people there for Lekki, they cry for the blood of people there for Lekki, they cry for vengeance, and that vengeance will soon come.
All right,
thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much for calling in there. Moving on now. Okay, let's take this to the one. I think the phone lines are acting up all of a sudden. Let's read some text messages now.
All right. This one is coming from Imam Manabam from Eche in River State. Says on the issue of teachers, government should pay teachers enough money because it's professional work. Away from that, PMB setting panel of inquiry. Imam Man, defined the inquiry as political meeting. The problem of Nigeria is unemployment. The president should create employment for the youth. NPAR teachers has been disengaged by the PMB and Farouk for selfish interests, and this is the result. Okay, that's coming from you, my man. This one on WhatsApp portal. All right, this one says, good afternoon to you all. In as much as I do not support the alleged killing of soldiers in Oyibo, okay, we're not talking about that now. This one says, good afternoon, Kalada and Wealth. How do they intend to regulate the social media? Lai Mohammed.
That's the question.
The presidency wants to regulate the social media they used against Jonathan. All their propaganda message when they were campaigning for Buhari, was it not via social media? Did Jonathan try regulating the social media? They should go and look into what they are doing that offends the masses, that makes them go on social media to express their view again. How can someone tell me that the president that calls her youth lazy is a friendly president or a youth-friendly president? For Army saying that they can only answer the call of Lagos State Governor, are they indirectly telling us that Mr. President is incapable? And that's coming from Unitha. All right, Unitha, still on WhatsApp, or we should go? No, let's take some more calls then.
All right. 95.1 FM.
Kalada, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Bride from Runigo. Welcome.
Thank you. Wealth of knowledge. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're welcome.
Thank you. Serap and some groups taken NBC to court. I think Serap and those groups should look at the allegation the NBC raised, the issue they raised that made them to find those stations. I was reading it last week, and then one of the charges was they listed unverifiable videos from social media and reported. In fact, they even specified AIT for reporting a fire incident at National Christian Center, and even with a video. And at the end of the day, there was no fire on the National Christian Center. So where did the video emanate from? You as journalists.
Now that you've brought this up, let's see how it's done in the international scenario now. You see, you hear CNN reporting, for instance. You see, when they use social media videos, you see them caption amateur videos. That is to say, wait, I'm going somewhere. That is to say, as seen on social media or as seen on another media platform, but cannot be verified. And I followed, I don't know about AIT, like you mentioned, and even when they reported that very one you pointed at, I think they also did a recovery and say, oh, okay, verified now, wrong information.
Very good. Fine.
So that's okay.
When you peddle wrong information, because at the media house, you are supposed to have someone who reported for you. When you peddle wrong information, what happens? You are forgiven and let go.
Okay, so when you talk about AIT, what about Arise TV and Channels Television now, yeah?
Because all the news they reported had been verified and found out to be false, and they never did
all.
Did you say all?
Did you say all? Call one that was false.
Let me correct. The videos for which they were fined, not all.
Okay, so which of the video was false now? Which of the video was?
Ones the government fined them for, not every other one.
The same one that the government came back and said that.
A particular one.
Yes, I need a particular one. Yes.
Now I'm telling you, the one the NBC fined them for reporting never happened.
Like which one?
That's the question we've been asking.
Because we're asking
NBC
the same.
Tell you, it is now the station and the NBC for them to meet NBC and ask NBC, show us the report that were not genuine. You don't ask me.
All right, but you're supporting it, and that's why we're asking you.
Because I am telling you, NBC as a responsible organization cannot accuse. Listen to me before you cut me off. NBC cannot accuse channels for reporting an unverifiable video without having that video on hand. So channels should meet NBC and say, which of them did we report that are not verified? And NBC should come forward.
All right, we've got to go now.
Let's go.
We've got to go now.
If you report a news that is not verifiable and did not happen, Canada, you know it, every place, you pay for it.
All right then. But then again, which one did not happen? Because I followed all the videos. Thank you very much. We've got to go for the news update. When we come back, we'll continue our conversations. You stay tuned.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Hardcore. News update.
Good afternoon. Here's the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Wealth Wilson. Nigerian postgraduate students sponsored abroad in 2018 by the Niger Delta Development Commission are currently staging a protest over the non-release of funds for their scholarship for 2 years after being verified twice. The 94 scholars are bearing placards with various descriptions in front of the Nigeria High Commission in London, and official duties at the commission is currently halted. The aggrieved students said the non-payment of their fees have exposed them to numerous dangers, including the COVID-19 virus, as some of them have to work in care homes to raise funds. They lamented that due to the non-payment of their fees, they live from hand to mouth and depend on menial jobs for funding. The scholars appeared and appealed that the federal government use a presidential authority to demand that the NDDC pay the 2018 NDDC scholarship students as soon as possible. They said the protest will continue till next week. The West African Examination Council has released the West African Senior Secondary Certificate Examination results for 2020. This is according to a statement by the head of National Office, Patrick Aregan, via the WAEC official Twitter handle. In the statement, the head of National Office said a total of 1,549,740 candidates registered for the 2020 examination, while 1,538,445 candidates eventually sat for the examination. The examinations also saw 780,660 of the candidates being male, while 757,785 female representing. Aragon also said a total of 1,338,348 candidates obtained credit and above in a minimum of any 5 subjects, with or without English examination. While cases of exam malpractice were being investigated by its committee, according to the statements, the results of 250,149 candidates, representing 13.98% of the total number of candidates that sat the examination, are being withheld in connection with the various reported cases of examination malpractice. Meanwhile, the Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has insisted that the problem in Oyibo local government area of the state is being caused by the activities of indigenous people of Biafra and not Igbo people. The governor was speaking on a live television program monitored from Port Harcourt. Governor Wike tasked Oyibo people to ensure that the IPOB members do not stay in the communities and cause trouble. The governor also noted that the aftermath of the NSAS protest has shown that the country is getting to the point where the use of force will no longer work. On the foreign scene, Zimbabwe's First Lady, Alexia Mangawa, has denied links to gold smuggling and challenged police to produce any incriminating evidence against her. The First Lady also denied illegal dealings with Henrietta Rushawa, a suspect in the high-profile gold smuggling case, which was arrested last Monday while carrying out 6 kilograms of gold in her handbag at Harare International Airport as she was traveling to Dubai. Police said Rushwaya did not have the necessary export permit, and she denied the charges in court and is awaiting a ruling on her bail application. Nangawa also absolved her son from links in gold smuggling. Zimbabwe's Secretary for Information, Nick Nangana, said police investigations have found claims linking the president's family to gold smuggling to be false and intended to intimidate law enforcement agencies. Zimbabwe is a major gold producer, and in the past, many smuggling rings have benefited from the protection of powerful politicians. And that was the news update on Today 95.1 FM. Do not forget, take responsibility. Wash your hands frequently with soap or running water. Avoid touching your face in high contact surfaces to prevent coronavirus. Once again, good afternoon. I am Wealth Wilson, and thank you for listening. Do stay with us as today's hustle continues.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Talk radio.
I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Government tell us say police now our friend. I remember what my papa tell me. See, make I mind who I call my friend.
Young lady, you're under arrest.
Oga, for waiting now. What can I do?
When you get to the station, you'll find out.
Hey.
Don't show, everybody don't jump out.
I say I know they follow you go anywhere.
Hey, you know they go anywhere. Go and ask about Officer Mark. You see, if I deal with you, nothing will happen. Nobody will question me. I will deal with you.
Oga, leave my clothes now. Wait, you won't take care of me. Oga.
Do you have 200,000?
200,000 for what now? Wetin I do where you want collect 200,000?
If you get to the station, you pay more than that.
200k for wetin? I don't get that kind of money. I don't get that kind of money. Oga, remember, you were once like us before you got into force. You have brothers and sisters like us in this society. The law says protect lives and properties, but what do we see today?
This life don't last forever.
Please remember, we have just one life. Why can't we live for one another?
Things get better if you just hold my hand.
This message is brought to you from Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
I am a proud Nigerian. I have been placed here by God for a time such as this.
The degradation, challenges, and problems faced by Nigeria are the perfect backdrop for me to develop and utilize my God-given potential.
I will not complain. I will not criticize. Rather, I will use my skills, gifts, relationships,
and experience to find long-lasting and revolutionary solutions to the many challenges confronting Nigeria.
Nigeria will rise again.
Because I am here, I will leave this nation
a better place than I met it. I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth.
I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth. So help me God.
Let me tell you how I got this far.
This message is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
This is today's hustle. One show that embodies objectivity. We raise the bar in examining the good, the bad, the sordid, everything that has to do with society.
In America, you buy a big house and you pay gradually for 30 years of your life. That is politics. In Nigeria, you carry all your salary and go and rent one room. Bad politics.
Everything that has to do with
you
society.
must negotiate. If we don't negotiate, when a man is pushed to the wall, he bounces back with double leverage. We have been pushed to the wall.
The Hustle. Every weekday from
1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
on Today 95.1 FM.
This is today's hustle. One show that embodies objectivity. We raise the bar in examining the good, the bad, the sordid, everything that has to do with society.
In America, you buy a big house and you pay gradually for 30 years of your life. That is politics. In Nigeria, you carry all your salary and go and rent one room. Bad politics.
Everything that has to do with
You
society.
must negotiate. If we don't negotiate, when a man is pushed to the wall, he bounces back with double leverage. We have been pushed to the wall.
The Hustle. Every weekday from
1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
on Today 95.1 FM.
All right, so I have a report to make. Wealth is all greened up, so to say. I think she's going to fight on behalf of Nigeria. I don't know. But I mean, I've been wanting to say something. But you're looking good, by the way. That's the report I wanted to make. You're looking good.
I was thinking what I was wearing was blue, but you're making me
is that
second guess
blue?
what I'm wearing.
We're all colorblind in the studio then. We're all colorblind. All right, welcome back. It's time for us to kickstart the second half of the show. And this time we will be looking at some local story. Time, 12 minutes can pass the hour of 2. Calendar still here. Wealth Wilson on the other side. And together they push the conversation, or they will be pushing the conversation for development. All right. For some days now, it's going to 2 weeks, right? The Oyibo crisis is going to 2 weeks now. It all started with the NSAS protest in Port Harcourt. We had the first one successfully on a Tuesday. We had another one 1 week later. And then on a Wednesday, we saw some people doing what we call in our local parlance Odeshi. And it's funny how a lot of people were clapping for them on social media. And you're saying, oh, Port Harcourt people know they carry last. See as this one, they happened, that one, they happened. But nobody saw it coming. Nobody knew it was going to translate to burning of police stations. And listening to the governor this morning, he said that 6 army officers were killed, 3 police officers were killed, and it turned into, would I dare say, a theater of commotion because, there were reprisals from the Hausa community, because even the governor did confirm on AIT that it somehow, reached the Hausa community and they were affected, and there were reprisals at Oil Mill, and there's another place called Rumokrushi, I think, the marketplace is therein. And he also said on AIT that he was going to be having a meeting with tribes that are not from Rivers State, and trying to make them understand that Rivers is not a place where we brew ethnic crisis, and everybody would find a way to work peacefully and peaceably together. But before I call our guest today, who's residing in that area, Wealth, how do you think the governor's handled this so far? Remember when he made that comment about youths fishing out? I told listeners and you that might be a problem, because it might not mean that he's going to say fish out the Igbo people, but a lot of people would have translated it to mean so. Currently, the crisis is still ongoing. Nnamdi Kanu on Twitter is really stoking the fire. He's made certain comments, and a lot of people actually. It's a chaos in Oyibo. First of all, what do you think about all that is going on? Let's start from there.
Oh, well, with what had happened, it's been over 11 days since the curfew was imposed in that area. And a lot of things have happened so far. We've seen the heavy presence of military and security operatives on the road. And the truth of the matter is that for 11 days, one would consider how the residents of that area have been coping.
Yeah,
all of this
economic-wise.
Nobody planned for this.
Okay.
Nobody foresaw the fact that they would be, locked in the house for 11 days and counting. Who knows how long it would take? Because while I was listening to the governor this morning, I noticed that there probably isn't any plan to ease the lockdown, because he had mentioned that the people should bear the sacrifice for their own good. And I'm wondering, is this the right way to help the people by making them suffer some more? Because there are innocent residents in that area, and these people have children, have kids, they have businesses that have been destroyed either because of non-attendance, or maybe the disruption by the youth, and whatever else happened within that area. So again, the good question would be, is this
talking about if it's the best way? There were strong allegations. There was the talk about annexation of the local government area by IPOB members. There was the talk, on AIT today, there was the talk about Ostiner flags. The governor said when these happened, they went on investigation and realized that, in certain schools that he built, how he talks. It's the schools that River State government built, that they have used it as meeting places and have used it, to hoist flags. And that, he somewhat blamed the communities therein for allowing it to happen. And that, like you mentioned, this is the sacrifice that they have to make for all of those things that they have allowed to happen, to be eradicated. But then again, the question, like you've asked, is if this is the best way. Annexation is a very strong word. And if you are annexing a legally constituted state, like we saw Russia do with Crimea, then it is against international law, and probably that's why the governor has gone the harsh way.
See, the truth of the matter is that, as I said, nobody saw this coming,
All right.
right? And then, secondly, I mean, we've seen a lot of damage, or we've seen a lot of things happen in other states in Nigeria. Lagos, for one, is one of the hardest hit. I mean, with all of the hoodlums and criminality that ensued afterwards. But then we noticed that after a while we saw the relaxation of the curfew, because I think the government sort of understood that whether or not we're trying to calm the situation, we also have to put or take into cognizance the innocents around the area who would be mostly affected.
But with Lagos, you're referring to the Lagos State governor said he was only going to relax the curfew if everybody, were peaceful.
Now, here is the thing, right? Here's the thing. The truth is, we cannot say that the people have to bear the sacrifice because they had allowed the IPOB members come in there and use their communities or their local government to indulge in whatever they had to. I mean, who has the right to ask anybody out of their community who had come to live or
But then
become
again,
a resident?
you're supposed to give information to the police.
Now, here is the thing, right? I mean, before now, we all know that they've been prescribed, isn't it? Now, in that same local government, we have the police, isn't it? So if they're carrying out public activities, the police should be aware of it, right? So we can't completely blame residents.
Nobody's arguing about that. But then again...
No, I'm driving my point that in the end of the day, we cannot say that they should bear that much sacrifice for something that, can be easily done else.
But now, this is the
way.
argument of the River State government. Oyibo local government has been largely infiltrated by IPOB members. Nnamdi Kanu, still yet the governor's words today, has asked them to behave in an unruly manner. Now, he has done a curfew, and the security agencies have been asked to make sure the curfew holds because of the fact that these people have to be flushed out. Because you open society, and there is no guarantee that these people, because of the orders coming in from Nnamdi, because he mentioned that he listened and that Oyibo was one of the places called by Nnamdi Kanu in whatever broadcast. So he's saying that there is a move to take over the land, Oyibo, from River State for whatever reason, and he's not going to be a party to it, and that's why he's put all of the severe measures therein.
But the truth is, with all of this, how did this information come through to the governor?
The police, of course.
Of course, isn't it? I'm guessing that this isn't even the first time. It's been lingering for a while because it's not just something that is abrupt, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you've been getting information that this community or this local government is the closest place for these people to annex or come in and, infiltrate in their numbers, then don't you think that steps would have been put earlier enough to stop whatever it is, because this is your state, isn't it? So I do feel that if this is the case, then for me, they should also take part of the blame.
No, the truth is, I'm not looking at it from the blame game being played, and you're right, everybody... I mean, the government should have been proactive. Security agencies should have been proactive. The people should have played their part in security. I agreed. But now we're at this point where there is the talk of imminent danger. There is a talk of IPOB, exhibiting some unruly behavior, and that is why they have gone so severe. That's what has caused the severity of the measures, and that is where I'm looking at it from, because we might open. Now, the case, the story as seen on social media might have been true, because a lot of people, or would I say, certain IPOB members, according to the story, had come out with the Odeshi thing that we saw on the video, and it was difficult for a while to what's the word now? To pacify the situation, to arrest the situation. And so nobody wants to get back to that point where there was wanton destruction, there was killing of people. The government is trying to play it safe, and maybe that's why the severity of the what do you call it now? But now the problem in Oyibo, according to reports that we are getting, not verified now, is that the army's presence is even constituting even more problems. And that's the reason why we will be talking to this individual all the way. I don't know if he wants his name to be called out, so I'm going to ask him. I forgot to take that permission. But then again, our correspondent reached out to the PRO here in River State, the Army. I don't know how the command is being called here. And up until now, there has been no response. So we will try. We will talk about it today. And hopefully in the course of the week or in the course of the month, we will get reactions from the army. But the problem now has been the militarization of Oyibo, and that is one of the things that have been trending. Even the governor, addressed it today. He said that yes, he has asked security agencies to mount that place because of, like I already mentioned, the severity of the IPOBs and threats. But then again, whatever story is being talked about, he has no control of the military. That's what he said. I'm just reporting what he said, and that he has no control of the military, and he does not really know if the military is acting unprofessionally, and he has not given them any go ahead to act unprofessional in an unprofessional manner, because he has nothing against the Igbos as being put out in certain quarters.
But with his statements coming out to talk about having nothing about the Igbos, you will notice that in corners in the state we found a lot of persons or group who seem to be taking that out of context. We've seen a lot of persons who feel that this is just him subtly chasing or subtly asking the Igbos to vacate the state.
All right.
And now one would wonder if, all of this is actually even under control, because really, even though time and time the governor, even today, had come out to talk about the fact that the fight is against IPOB and not Igbos. But the truth is, where is the distinction?
That's one of the questions we raised earlier when he brought up that statement, that statement. Because a lot of people think Igbos are IPOB are Igbos. But then again, in reality, IPOB is one group and does not represent the entire Igbos. But then let's talk with someone. I'm going to, dial this number right about now, and he will be giving us a narrative of what is happening in Oyibo. And I'm guessing other people are with him, and that probably would also be talking. And so the rest of River State can actually, I know a lot of you are being asked, what's happening in Oyibo, and you probably don't know. It's like that. I get it. But we're going to go beyond social media now, and we're going to find out what really is happening. Yeah, it's ringing now. It's ringing. All right. Good afternoon to you.
Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon. Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me? All right then. I'm going to try to re-establish connections. But then again, what did you make of the argument Wike did put out when he was being interviewed on AIT, that the Minister of Transportation was the reason for the mayhem in River State? I mean, that part of River State. And that and that the narrative that the governor does not like the Igbos, was started or initiated by the minister. Now the minister, unlike the minister of I've forgotten the ministry, but the one from Edo State, unlike that minister that visited Edo to see the level of damage that was done, the minister here in River State did not come because he wanted to help. He initiated it, so that's why he did not come. So he couldn't. What do you make of it? The governor carried his bias against the minister into the conversation.
It has always looked like it would get political at some point, and it is getting that way. And the last thing we would want is that friction between both parties to come into play right now, because as I said,
it will worsen the situation.
Honestly,
it will worsen the situation. All right, re-establishing connections yet again. Let's see. Okay, it's ringing. Yes, yeah, good afternoon to you. Can you hear me? Hello?
Good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you? Oh, okay. All right. So, can I call your name out? Can I introduce you on the show, or should I keep you anonymous?
Canada, introduce me because one just leaves only once.
One leaves only once. Okay.
Getting out of hand. So what else? What do I have to do?
Okay.
For the past week,
Okay, so I've got here on the phone Ike Daniels Obo. Please, can you help me pronounce the name, please? Thank you.
My name is Comrade Ike Daniel. I'm from Ndoki.
Okay. Welcome on the show. Welcome on the show. So, can you give us a glimpse? Can you give us a peek into what is happening in Oyibo local government area?
Thank you very much, Kalada. Thank you for this good opportunity. You're truly the voice of the people, because what we've been suffering for past 1 week and now, I can't find anywhere to quantify it.
All right.
The truth is that everybody had their own share of the NSAS protest. Most of us in Oyibo individually had our own experience with them, direct experience. But while others were protesting and one was the other things got out of hand that led to the point of station and all that. I want to state that we, the indigenous people of Oyibo, had tried to find out what actually happened. We got some reports from how during their peaceful protest, police people shot one of the boys. They carried him to a close by hospital, and the people were asking for police permit. While they were arguing police permit and no police permit, Canada, the boy died, and in the hospital there. So the crowd, out of annoyance, got destroyed or spoiled some things in the hospital.
Can you verify? Can you verify these reports that you got? Can you verify them? Are they verifiable?
If I had the means now of reaching to some of them that are around the way that lost loved ones, they will be speaking to you. As I speak with you, some bodies are still in the mortuary.
Okay.
After the burning of the hospital, so to say, they located another hospital where the man had to assist several people with bullet wounds. This group of people were not outside the junction.
Let me ask a question. What resulted in the shooting in the first place? Because according to the reports, this probably might have happened, but this might have happened because the IPOB members had already initiated the move.
This IPOB issue, I am just getting to hear it on air through the governor. Because as of the time we were monitoring these boys, they were killing chicken, they were killing, trying to do barbecue and all that. I never saw any ID of anybody I could identify as IPOB. I am minding my words. So when we had this IPOB issue, we were wondering where and how they got, because before this time, Canada, the youth of this area has gone to the local government and establishing their grievances like SARS. It was not IPOB. We never saw IPOB there.
Okay.
The elders of this community, they are equally monitoring the events there. So this whole IPOB thing, I am hearing it. Probably they say because Nnamdi Kanu said something, because the governor said something. If the governor and Nnamdi Kanu are fighting, they should keep the people of Oyibo Ndoki away from me.
But now, I need to correct something. The governor was not the one who brought. I mean, the police did the report, and then the governor carried it on.
Now, Canada, the police, everybody seems to be thinking about the police being killed. The police are looking for this peace. None of us support going to burn police or kill anybody, whether police, army, or individuals.
All right.
So none of us, we are peace-loving people, Canada. The what surprises me is that the whole thing is now turning away from
the cause.
Are you with me?
Yes, the state is turning from the cause of the problem to another thing, yeah?
Yes, it's now an IPOB issue.
Okay, so where is the local government chairman in all of this? Is he giving the same affirmation as the state governor that this is an IPOB attack?
The local government chairman, my dear, I wouldn't want to speak on his behalf because some people quote him as having made some contradictory statements that he said that nothing was going on in Oyibo, that it was in Ilote. So before the governor came in, so I wouldn't want to speak for him because I live here. I don't know where he is. I live here. I don't have road to my community. I don't have light. I don't have water. No medical facility. So I can't speak for him. I am angry in Canada because the innocent people I saw at the hospital, the blood I saw at the hospital, Indoki does not allow innocent blood to be shed this way. The military people came in. We don't know whether they are here to make peace or they are here to cause more havoc.
Okay. Before we get to the military, wait. It's step by step now. Yeah. Before we get to the military now, you're saying that the whole fracas was started by the shooting of that young man who was rejected by police, by the hospital, I beg your pardon, because of police report, and then the youths took laws into their hands. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that has led to that move. The shooting of the boy, they were going to the hospital and they were coming back to the station. If not, before this time, it was peaceful.
Okay. So how did... Go ahead, yeah.
Now, the situation here is that the governor is reacting based on those, this has been chief security officer, is reacting based on the attack on the police and probably the army. But we that were around their liver, you understand what I'm saying? We will try to reach out to any, even Canada, that the few of them that died and their relatives, when we tried asking them questions, the ones who saw carrying back, some of them said they carried their dead bodies. The police and army, they are seizing the dead bodies. These ones I'm telling you that are in the mortuary is as a result of maybe through the hospital they went to the mortuary. Now nobody is talking about them.
Now for all of these things you have said, you have proof, because see, we in the media, we don't carry unverified reports. Now, I am asking you questions because you live in Oyibo, but I really would also like to know that you have proof to all the other statements or comments that you're making. Because if number one, you say that people were shot and then the bodies were carried and that there are some in the mortuary, do you have proof to the fact? Do you have pictorial proof? Do you have medical reports showing that these people died of gun wounds? What kind of bullets did they die of? These are some of the proof that I would like to appreciate if you do have them.
Canada, you understand that the whole place is being shut down. That she cannot move. We don't have light. We don't have fuel. We don't have anything. But eyewitness, I'm not saying some other person witness and they told me.
Okay.
The second hospital, I don't know how safe I am, but I have to say it. The second hospital where we went to see for our eyes, we saw, Canada, I said we saw the man treating people with bullet wounds that amongst them that were brought to him then, he lost three. Right. I don't have pictures. I can't tell the doctor not so because you cannot go out.
Right.
Hello?
Yeah. Quickly now, because we are almost out of time. Quickly now, what is the condition of things in that area? What is the condition? You guys are all indoors. Do we still have shootings? Do we still have unrest? Do we still have people perpetrating, mayhem here and there? Or is it peace returning back to the local governments?
Stay around and monitor if there is any reprisal attack anywhere.
Reprisal from where? Where's the reprisal attack coming from?
Because that has been the reason why they say they are going have to search, look for this and that. People are packed. Canada, this place is empty. People are running away because they can't find food, they can't find water. So everybody is panicking because they are hearing the soldiers say they killed some of them. They will kill. So people confirmed to us while they were carrying their bags yesterday that they saw them shoot someone and carry the dead body.
But you can't confirm that. So yes, we're not going to take that.
that one I cannot affirm.
Okay.
But whether people got bullet injuries in their houses and died, that I told you, I saw.
Sorry. Say people got what? People got bullets.
That's from stray bullets.
Yes. And so many of them died as a result of that.
Wow. Okay. All of that subject to confirmation. I need to put that out there. All right, go ahead.
So, Canada, if the governor, I don't know how, like I said, the IPOD issue, I know it's still only we have seen the IPOD activity. Those people are very peaceful people. If there are activities of IPOD here, it is not collective ideas of the entire Ndoke people or people that IPOD must come and give trouble. So if the IPOD people, as alleged, has caused any trouble for them and the people have left the community or the LGA, people can live their lives. Right. People can go access a medical.
So you
people should.
You are saying that now that all of that, if we are going to go with the IPOB narrative and all of that has been handled, then you all should be allowed to go about your normal businesses. If I got you right, is that what you're saying?
Did you hear that?
Sorry.
Did you hear the gunshots now?
No, I did not. I did not. I don't know if any other person heard it, but I did not.
Go on.
So that would mean that relative peace has not returned.
Canada, while we are worried is, we cannot, the soldiers came and did a very wonderful job that day. They came and they dispersed the crowd, and now we've not seen anybody gathering anywhere within that particular area they gathered. Okay? But the actions of the security agencies is what is now leading to this one bullet flying everywhere and hitting people.
Okay, but you are not outside, so you probably don't know why the bullets are flying. So yet again, when we try to get in touch with the PRO of the military here in River State, we probably will be able to get all of that information. But thank you very much. You have any final words you want to put out there?
Wanted to say something.
All right, let him say quickly then. Let him say quickly.
Okay. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. What's your name?
I'm Honorable Prince Obama.
All right. All right, from AFAM. All right then. Okay. So what is it you want to say to Rivers people?
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. See, what happened is that none of us here cherish or love what happened. We condemn the destruction that happened in total. Because there's nowhere there be development or progress where there is trouble or chaos.
All right.
So that is why we do it. And the governor has the chief security of this state. And they know very well that Obi is an important area. Everybody is not a trouble, some place or a terrorist area, as my dad just pointed out. Even before this time around, the security agents, the police, have been seeing this plan of the POP people and some of them. They have been going about with them. They have been seeing them going about. Even the governor during the election time, he used them. Are you getting me?
No, we can't make those statements now because I can't verify those statements. But go ahead. Yet again, I can't verify it. So go ahead.
They should, try to leave the NSAS issue and then want the IPOP issue. That is, mixing up issues. Right. In many places, it happened, and the other places, issue of IPOP is not only, it's in a Akwa, it's in Ogun, it's in some other places. So it appears as if it is in Oyibo here alone. And even now the Kano, I doubt if he knows where Oyibo is. Oyibo is River State, and not in Imo State.
Right.
So legally, it's in River State. So nowhere, no time. A person from Ambia can come here and assume or take over to bring disease. We are the people that is solicited and then went for having all this to River State.
Right.
And not any other. So there's no way we can now say maybe we are going back for something of that nature. Or somebody will say, it's only the Igbos that are here.
All right, we're out of time. We're out of time, and we've got to give a room for other people to join the conversation. But thank you very much for letting us know what is happening there and for your eyewitness reports in Oyibo. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Kalada. Thank you.
Right.
So we don't have time to exhaust our point.
Yes. Probably some as the situation unfold, I will call again, and then of course we will talk some more.
If the governor is listening to us, Kalada, please, Kalada, we are appealing to the governor to relax this courses, to relax and tell the military people to station somewhere and watch or monitor anything, so that people can live.
All right then.
People can survive and get water. There is hunger. You can hear everybody hunger in this place. We are at the hall. People are living on you. People are going to their different places. Please tell the governor to help the people and renounce this country. Let them continue their businesses.
All right then.
I'm not an indigenous of Oyibo. I'm a visitor here, but I hereby talk on behalf of the visitors.
All right then. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all of that information. Well, now this is totally, yes, totally. I can dare say, even if I can verify it, it's totally contradictory to what first of all the police had put out there, and then carried by the governor of Rivers State. The story, the narrative is IPOP started the mayhem, and here we are.
You see what I've been waiting for a long time is the local government chairman coming out to clarify, because he's the one who is supposed to know a lot.
He's the chief security officer of the local government.
I mean, if according to what he said, he is not here, it's neither here nor there. I mean, it means that there is, a disruption in information, because I think in all of this, it's his people and local government being affected. If there's any information reaching the governor, he too should be abreast on what's going on.
But then again, the police has got the responsibility of doing this investigation, and they came out with a finding.
Now, the police doing their investigation it cannot be very
absolute.
I mean, no, not saying absolute. They cannot do it in isolation away from the local government chairman. So coming out to clarify to the people that yes, truly it is the IPOB that had come to do all of this. Please remain calm. I mean, that goes a long way to tell the people that what, maybe the right, this is going on the right way, because right now too many speculations. I mean, if you listen to him, he's saying that it's not only in Oyibo that the IPOB people, had issues, and he had also mentioned that the violence. He mentioned something about starting with Irebe or something like that. And
it was when you asked him about the local government chairman. That's the reference he made. He said,
I mean, that's what the local government chairman had said, that the violence
according
was
to
at Irebe.
now he said according to rumors that it's not like he had. According to what people had said, that is what the local government chairman. So there are too many.
I'm thinking that there are just too many discrepancies with all of this. I mean, again, whether or not we are trying to, fight the, takeover of Oyibo by IPOB members and all of that, we should also remember that residents there are also Igbo, and the common idea, it is common knowledge that at least if you're Igbo, majority of them may likely be part of this group or movement. Now, the truth is, I do expect that while we're trying to calm the situation or figure out whether or not it's the IPOB, a group, or whatever group is responsible for the unrest, the innocent residents there should also be put into consideration. I mean, people are there without power supply, as they mentioned, without food. Nobody foresaw this, so nobody prepared for it.
But then again, I'm okay. Yeah, that's the point. But then again, I'm looking at it from the security angle, because he was talking about hearing bullet sounds, and I'm wondering, or gun sounds, and I'm wondering if we still hear gun sounds. Is it safe for people to go out there? Because if one person dies and there is a pandemic, there is a crisis all over again, and then people are shouting, and where is the governor? But then again, something I've said, but then again, a lot of times already, something is in my head now, and it's, if the narrative by these people is anything to go by, I'm not saying it's true, I can't verify it yet, but if it's anything to go by, then do you think the police will honestly do an investigation? Now, I am not saying the police has not done. I am only thinking outside the box. We had a similar issue when the police were said to have tortured someone. Were said, that's cases in court, so we're going to let the courts determine that. The police came out and gave a different, I can turn, but 0817 0000095.
People, police statement. I mean, it shouldn't.
Callers who have been calling in.
Good afternoon.
Went off.
Portion and whatever is there already.
That conversation you would have with the government, you don't have it yet.
My
So
brother.
that argument is with the
first comment that someone made about a terrorist organization and the protests that went on in Lagos and the army inquiry.
No, we have moved on from that. You should listen to the conversation we're having. There's no time for all of that. 95.1 FM, lost that call. Keep your calls coming in. 0817-000-0951 and 0810-951-0951. Let's hear who's here now. 95.1 FM.
Hello, Canada. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
I was going to take you to task when you said you were a journalist and you like facts. But the beautiful lady in the studio, I believe she bailed you out. She made a statement that I so much loved. She said the governor keeps talking about Igbo people and do not disrupt our state, forgetting that the people of Obibo, the people of Ndake, the people of Assam are Igbos. That land is Igbo land. It doesn't belong to the Echie people. It doesn't belong to the Ikore people. The indigenous people of that land are Igbos.
Sorry, that's not the argument we're having on the show.
No.
No. You're not preaching anything now. I need to correct something. I need to correct. All right, thank you very much. 95.1 FM. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Good afternoon. My name is Ken, Canada. I'm calling from River State.
All right, Ken from River State. Welcome.
Yeah. I just want to add to, two questions to ask. For me, if it's possible, Canada, I would like you people to send one of your workers to Obibo and get the real thing that is happening there.
When you said the real thing, okay, where the hospital? Okay,
I'm coming.
Okay,
because of the man that just called now. You said, you were asking question if the information is bringing is a correct one.
All right.
So one of your workers can go there in the hospital and whatever and confirm. The second one is this: if it's possible again, can you put the local government chairman of Oyibo on call? Let's hear from him and know whether if he's there in Oyibo or here in River State, because governor is here in River State. Why
Oyibo is in River State? Oyibo is in River State.
Yes.
Yeah.
The governor is here in Port Harcourt, in township here.
All right.
Why the chairman is supposed to be here in the local government and give us exactly what is happening in his own environment?
Okay, now number one now, to answer your number one question, we've been trying to get to Oyibo, but you already know there is a strict curfew and you can't guarantee the safety of any reporter you send to Oyibo at this moment. So that will be done in the nearest future when we can guarantee relative peace. For now, what we can work with is eyewitness reports. Number two, the local government chairman, of course we will try to, now you brought it up, we'll try to do that tomorrow or next. Number three, what's the third question you wanted to ask?
Okay, number three is this. We started this sale of protest of a thing started in a very good, in a peaceful way. Which our governor here in River State come out to address the youth. The way they did it everywhere in Lagos, Abuja, Owerri, all the 36 states in this Nigeria. Now, along the line, from the peaceful protest, the protest enter another wrong way. Which happened is this.
Hello?
Up to now, as I'm talking, our leaders still find it difficult that someone, or even they lost one person in Lekki Toget at Lagos. Because of there is no one soldier or any force man have injured or something. But this Oyibo something, Obibo now, the way the thing started, even the information that guy give, they say a boy was shot before this incident started.
That is why I want to say, if you have opportunity as a media, I don't know why the
but you know the truth.
Why the coffee will stop?
Listen now. Nobody said. Listen. Nobody said. Can you go to Oyibo now? Can you guarantee your safety in Oyibo? That's the question. Nobody is saying.
But you're a journalist.
Oh,
journalists
really?
have
Okay.
to go where it's happening and get the right information.
Interesting. All right, we lost that call, or rather, your airtime got finished, whichever it was. I do not know. This one says, Canada, I listened to the governor the day he declared that Mr. Ingbera was wanted. He said clearly that he's a member of IPOB, that he led the attack. I was very surprised when he retracted on live television today that he never said that Mr. Ingbera is an IPOB member but led the attack him, and that is not good, Mr. K. All right, this one says, Mr. Worldwide in Omudioga, Governor Wike has gotten it wrongly by interfering with IPOB. He is destroyed. Okay, his political career in Nigeria because of that's not what we're talking about. We're looking at Obibo and the issues there. And this one says, good day, arrived from COVID-19 to Chima's death. Ikoku, anywhere he knows that is Igbo based, he will treat people in that place as slaves. Look at oil mill. All right, still the Igbo suppression, I guess. This one says, Nnamdi Kanu will stay at wherever he's sipping tea and coffee with his family and will order people to go kill and burn down places, and they will sheepishly go only to be killed or maimed. Are people serious with their lives at all? Why allow Nnamdi to stay there and use your head? Be reasonable, please, John. But John...
Nnamdi to stay where?
Somewhere where he is, according to the... But John, again, the narratives from that area is different from... I mean, let's move on. Canada, the people of Oyibo are dying and suffering, hence the governor should lift the curfew in that LGA, please. Dear La Emeka, right.
Okay.
And this one says, this thing the young man said was what I heard initially before IPOB was roped in. We know police can never tell the truth. We are aware of that, Osuji. Osuji, you cannot say never. Never is not the right word. This one says, Governor of River State should change the name of Oyibo community because the Oyibo name has a link to, is it what we're talking about?
See, the truth is...
Wait, I'm sorry.
Okay.
This is a... okay. Okay, you're talking Igbo and no Igbo. All right, you wanted to say something, Wealth?
Well, the truth of the matter is that whether we like it or not, if there's speculation that the IPOB members are infiltrating Oyibo local government area, this is an information that they probably would have gotten a long time ago and would have been checking the proximity between Abia and River State or Oyibo local government. So I'm thinking that this is something that we would have prevented, seeing that we've gotten the information earlier.
But yet again, we've not been able to verify what resulted in the shooting of the young man, as you know, said by the eyewitness reporter. What led to the shooting, and maybe if we know, then we will be able to take on the matter. But as the week progresses, more information on this very issue will be coming your way. We'll try to get reports from as many people as possible until we get the actual facts of what really did happen. But you know how we do, we have to verify it before we can conclude that this is what really happened and this is how things are. But for now, we've got to say our goodbyes. Wealth, Wilson, and Canada. And if you are in Oyibo, our hearts are with you as you try to navigate through the stormy waters that you currently find yourself in. God be with you. Hopefully, things will get better in the coming days. Wisdom Obina, the man who has left football for snowball eventually. You know, he always says, I'll never leave football for snowball, but it looks like...
I left it for well.
You left it for well. It actually looks like snow, right? All right, then. All right.
I'm so happy you did that.
All right, then. Oh, really, guys, take your romance somewhere else. But it's time for today's Sports Life on Today 95.1 FM. Stay tuned. Signing out now.
Let's talk football. Let's talk football.
What a devastating strike!
Football is a leisure game.
Sports is actually my job.
Football is boring.
That's not true. It's way more important than that.
What a wonderful goal! Fantastic strike.
As far as I'm concerned, sports is all about passion.
Sports Attack, weekdays 7:30 a.m. and today's Sports Live 3 p.m. Weekends 1 p.m. to 6 p.m.
For all you need to know in the world of sports, leave the dial on Today 95.1 FM.
Hello, my name is Kanu Wanko, aka Papilo. For the latest and trending sports stories, always listen to Today Sports Live on Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt.
You know, there are a few areas that define a man, like sports.
I think we can live with that.
Months after Deontay Wilder was soundly beaten by Tyson Fury, he has brought up a new reason why he felt he was beaten. He says the man put something hard in his gloves, and that's why he was knocked out. Well, we're going to be allowing you and, of course, Mecca, who is here to judge this particular one. My name is Wisdom Obina. On that note, I welcome you to Today's Sports Live. We are reaching you from the studios of our premium news, talk and sports radio station, Today95.1 FM. And, well, Wisdom Obina is my name. And Emeka Dena is here. Emeka, welcome to the show.
The Superman, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to our listeners out there. What a weekend we had. Another, superb performance from Lewis Hamilton, who is now on the brink of equaling Michael Schumacher's championship records in terms of a number of drivers' championships won. In football, I never expected, a lot of people, not just me, expected Arsenal to beat Manchester United, but they did that for the first time at Old Trafford in 14 years. Amazing.
Wow. Well, we'll talk about that and a whole lot more, I tell you. Talk about Formula One, Mercedes. Well, they've won another Constructors' Championship, and the man who is riding the waves of glory is Lewis Hamilton. On course, too, to set his own record. And it just looks like the man is unstoppable at the moment. We'll talk boxing, where Alexander Usyk, after all the war of words, it was Alexander Usyk who smiled home at the end of the day, with the man even aiming for greater things now these days, looking at a unified division, which is still more like a dream. But outside that, Deontay Wilder, like I told you, came out earlier, late last week to say, I think he put something in his gloves. That's Tyson Fury. That's why he beat me. Tony Bellew has reacted. He says the man should go and look for a better story. I mean, he particularly said the man is insane and needs help. That maybe those patting him on the back, they've told him all this story to encourage him. But we'll be getting the thoughts of Tony Bellew and, of course, your own thoughts too on that one. Football is also on the menu. Asamoah Gyan. Well, he has gone back to the Ghanaian League. He's gone back to wrap up his career there, hopefully. But at 34, he's going back to their league. And the big question is, how many Nigerian players have tried to do that? And how many should actually emulate Asamoah Gyan? Imagine when we have Ahmed Musa in the league, or Saze Odewinge, maybe if he had continued in the league. And maybe some of these other big names, let's say Mikel Lubi, returning to play for Plateau United. Imagine the kind of crowd it would draw to the stadium. This and a whole lot more will be coming your way on the show this afternoon. You can be part of our conversation by joining us on any of our interactive platforms. For SMS or WhatsApp, it's 0701 9339 962. I'll take it again, 0701 9339 962. On Twitter, you can tweet at us at TodayFM951. That is at TodayFM951. You can copy my handle. My handle is at wisdom_OB. That is at wisdom_OB. Emeka is here. His handle is at Dena Emeka, at Dena Emeka, and he will be reading your tweets real time here on the show. All right, we start off with Italy, where Lewis Hamilton won the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, and Mercedes secured the 2020 Formula One World Championships, Constructors Championships. Mercedes Lewis Hamilton secured his 9th victory of the 2020 Formula One season in the 17 race season's 13th race at Autodromo Internazionale Enzo Edino Ferrari. The Emilia Romagna Grand Prix and that's the Emiliano Romagna Grand Prix. And Mercedes clinched a record 7th consecutive World Constructors title with his victory. The victory was Hamilton's 3rd in a row and the 93rd of his career, extending the all-time record he set with his win last Sunday. Hamilton started this 63-lap race in Imola, Italy, in 2nd place, but ended up winning the race by 5.783 seconds over in Bottas' 2nd place. Bottas fell to 3rd after going off course and being passed by Verstappen after Verstappen had been pressuring him for much of the race. But the tire failure a few laps later ended Verstappen's race and resulted in another safety car period. Williams' George Russell had a chance to secure his first career points finish with a top 10 result in his 34th start, but he crashed trying to put heat into his tires during the safety car period. After not taking new tires during the safety car period, Renault's Daniel Ricciardo jumped up to 3rd place, and he held on to secure his 2nd podium finish in the last 3 races with a 3rd place effort ahead of AlphaTauri's Daniel Kvyat in a season-high 4th. Emeka, Mercedes has done it again, or they've done it again, and it looks like the other teams are just watching. What are they doing that other teams are not doing?
The good thing about Mercedes is, they usually have 2 brilliant drivers. The 2 drivers do well. At times, the title is even between the 2 drivers. Like we saw in 2016 when Nico Rosberg won ahead of Hamilton. It was a Mercedes won to then. Last season is also the same thing. It's been like that for some time now. The others will pretend, and at the end of the day, Mercedes will eventually dominate because they have 2 excellent drivers, as it were. So you are sure that they are going to get the constructors championship while they also secure the drivers championship. And they've been so dominant in the last 7 years. 7 wins out of 7. Well, take nothing away from Ferrari. Ferrari has got 16 constructors titles overall, even though they haven't won one in the last 7 years. But it is what it is. Now it's all about Mercedes. They are getting it right, and let's just enjoy what they're bringing to the table. We hope to see another team rival them, and even knock them off the pecking order right there. But for now, it doesn't look like any of these teams have been able to get it right. You see a team that comes up with 1 brilliant driver, the other driver is not doing well. It takes the 2 drivers to give you
maximum points.
Exactly, to give you the points you need to secure victory in the drivers constructors championship. So that's what the Mercedes guys are doing. You go to Red Bull, it's only Max Verstappen. He can only do so much. You go to Ferrari, there's nobody right now in Ferrari. As a matter of fact, look at what they are doing and look at their placement on the driver standings. Nowhere to be found. They're not even 3rd in the constructors championship. That's to tell you how poor they have been, or especially in 2020. So let's just hope one day these other teams will wake up and come to the party, as it were.
All right, a quick look at the Constructors Championships as it stands now. Mercedes, who are winners already, whatever happens in the remaining races, it's done and dusted. Mercedes with 479 points and they have 11 wins. Red Bull are 2nd with just 1 win, 226 points. Renault, no win with 135 points. McLaren are 4th, 134 points. Racing Point are 5th with 134. Ferrari are 6th with 103 points. AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo, Haas and Williams are completing the 10. For the drivers' standings, Lewis Hamilton tops that one with 282 points from 9 wins. I mean, it just tells you the story. But Emeka, before I run through the other names now, Lewis Hamilton still has, I know we touched it last weekend, and he came out to say his statements were not very clear. And bookmakers and those who like to actually put words where they don't even belong are now saying he could actually just retire if he breaks that record and sets his own now finally. He's just going to say, okay, there's nothing else for me to do here. My job here is done. Let me move on. Is there a possibility, Emeka, that could happen, considering the fact that he's doing some human rights fightings of the
he can only equal the record this year. He won't break the record this year.
Okay.
He's on 6 world drivers championships. Michael Schumacher has got 7 before he quits the sport. So if Hamilton wins, which he will do most likely in the next race, he will equal the record of Michael Schumacher. Then it will now mean he has to, set himself apart from Schumacher, which means he will do 1 more year at least. At the moment, his current deal with Mercedes expires this year. So he will have to renew. And which other team is he likely to join that will give him the edge to even go for the world title and win conveniently? You can't look beyond Mercedes. So, everything points to the fact that he will want to extend his stay at Mercedes. That is if he wants to, set a new record, in terms of number of championships won. He has a record already. Every other race he wins now, he extends the record of most race won in terms of races, as it were. He has 93 right now. Schumacher retired with 91. In the penultimate race was when he set the new record. Yesterday he won, and he has even bettered his own record. So each other race that he wins, he sets a new record of him for himself. But the main one is the driver's title you win.
What you think when it concerns Formula One and the issues we'd also be talking about before we get to the phone line? 07019339962. Tony Bellew has told TalkSport that he looks as though Deontay Wilder has lost the plot regarding his defeat to Tyson Fury. The former WBC heavyweight world champion spoke out for the first time in months over the weekend, first by posting a video and statement on social media, and then following this up with various interviews. In the video, Wilder claimed Fury tampered with his gloves to put his fist in an improper position. He added that he believes the Brit had a hard object concealed within his gloves to deal extra damage. The American next claimed his water was spiked with muscle relaxers before the fight, potentially by his own trainer, Mark Breland, who has been sacked already. When asked about the comments earlier today, Bellew had this to say.
Insane. Whatever he's been smoking, he needs to stop. It's just nuts. It's absolutely insane. You have to understand, Lord, that the checks we go through, once we arrive at the arena, from the minute we get there, we're followed by a drug tester. This is when you're at the top of the sport and you're in world title fights. So you get to the arena, you're followed everywhere by a drug tester. The minute you start getting ready for the bout, so you start getting your kit on, your clothes on, you'll get your hands wrapped. From the minute your hands start getting wrapped, you've got someone from the opposing dressing room in your changing room. He watches everything that goes on. You also have an official that's with you at all times. Then the gloves go on. At no point that them gloves are on your hands can they come off, can they be taken off without an official with you or without someone from other one's team.
The former cruiserweight champion went on to explain what he feels might be wrong with the bronze bomber.
So it's impossible what he's saying. What's happened here is Deontay Wilder's gone missing for quite a while. He's licked his wounds. He went away after he loses the fight, and he's just kept a gang of backslappers and yes men around him. And in the end, he listened to these guys for months, and he's come out now and made an absolute fool of himself.
All right, he's making an absolute fool of himself. Emeka, let me first start with the comments from Deontay Wilder. How did you? I know I was on that side this morning and I only had one sentence, on this one. But I mean, how did that come to you? Did it come to you like, what is wrong with this man?
I watched the fight. I'm sure a whole lot of people out there also watched it. It was much talked about in February this year, after the first meeting between the pair was unsettled, ended in a controversial draw in 2018 December, and we needed to eventually break that tie, and it happened in February this year before the lockdown. What I saw on the night was basically Deontay Wilder that was out of sorts, that was figured out by Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder, we know him, the knockout king. He goes for that big right hand to take his opponent out, and it didn't work out for him on the night, and eventually was beaten. Yes, his team threw in the towel at some point.
Yeah.
Not like he was knocked out completely. We call it a technical knockout because his team felt he was taking too much punishment and he wasn't responding. His footing was gone. He wasn't responding any longer. The first knockdown, and the second one, even though I thought the first one was a rabbit punch, from on the back of the the head there, somewhere around the brain there. But that being said, I also recall that after that fight, he came up a few days later that the attire he wore
was too heavy.
Yeah, was too heavy, weighing around 40 kg. Why would you do such a thing? Let's even assume that was the case. I thought at that point it was even a very flimsy excuse. But coming up to say, Tyson Fury had objects. There's no confirmation of that. And I also was there when they were wrapping and Fury's gloves. We saw it on the television, not like I was right there in the United States. We were seeing this in the television. A member from Fury's team will be in Deontay Wilder's dressing room. Same is the case for Fury, Wilder too, you understand? It goes that way. You have your member of your team watch when this man's arms, his fists are being wrapped, and when the gloves are entering his hand, and from that point he will proceed to the ring. And we didn't hear any member of his team who observed that come out to make such claims. But he himself and his brother have said this already. His brother was the first to say it. That's Deontay Wilder's younger brother. He made that claim already, before Wilder even echoed it further. But stranger things than that even happened in boxing. I'm not saying Tyson Fury did what he was accused of by Deontay Wilder, but we've seen boxers in the past do such a thing. Margarito did something like that. Tyson himself beat the ear of Holyfield, but it was glaring. We all saw it. You can't compare that with what we have on the table right now.
And the regular
we have seen who use steroids and what have you. Some of them even get away with it. Some of them are caught. But for boxers to put metal objects in their feet, they do that. You understand? Somehow they get away with it. Maybe inside the gloves itself, because you just press and press. Maybe you're not able to figure it out when you're checking it. When they
properly work on it.
Yes, exactly. They do that, no doubt. But you can't sit down here and ascertain it. But the way Fury beat Deontay Wilder, you begin to wonder: is this still the same Deontay Wilder that has previously looked unbeatable, as it were? It was easily taken apart. We saw the two boxers in the first fight. Deontay Wilder was the one that knocked him down in the 12th round before they died with him. Remember, Fury has already said he's no longer interested in the trilogy because they couldn't agree, on the third fight, and all that. So let's just watch this drama unfold. But one thing is certain: I would like to see them fight again.
All right. Well, as I said earlier, you can send in your thoughts 07019339962. Let's talk football. Former national captain of Ghana, Asamoah Gyan, who's 34 years of age, has returned to play his club football in Ghana in a move hoped to boost the local league. Gyan, the top goal scorer in Black Stars history with 51 goals, has joined Legon Cities on a one-year renewable deal. I am happy to join this club because they have a future plan for Ghanaian football, said Gyan, who had been a free agent on social media. We think that if he comes to Ghana to play, he will leave the ground of Ghanaian football, and the other professional Ghanaian football superstars who have left will also come back to leave the Ghana or Ghanaian league, said Gyan's agent, Sami Anim. The former BBC African Footballer of the Year turned down offers from Qatar and elsewhere to secure his return to the Ghanaian game. Emeka, first, how would you sum up the career of this man so far? I know he's not retiring yet, but we know that he's no longer the Asamoah Gyan of 2006, 2007, 2008, and all those glory days, the World Cup and what have you, when he struck the bar. But has he been one of the legends?
No, no doubt. He will pass as an African great, a legend of the game, both for Ghana and the continent. He has paid his dues. He may not have won the coveted African Footballer of the Year, but of course he got the BBC version, just like our own JJ Okocha did. Didn't win hasn't won the AFCON yet. It was at last AFCON as a co-captain of the Black Stars. But come on, Gian has paid his dues. He did quite well, helped the Ghana team reach the quarterfinals of the World Cup in 2010. Who forgets how Luis Suarez stopped them and all that? But you look at his career. He's played for Sunderland in the Premier League at some point. Went to the Middle East, made a lot of money. And if everything is equal, like we say, all things being equal, yeah, it's not a bad idea for players who have spent their best years in Europe, made so much money, come back home. We see the South Americans do it often. In Argentina, in Brazil, they do it a lot. After doing quite well in Europe, you go back home, put in 1 or 2 more seasons and call it quits there. That's what the man is doing. The effect of it, you can't even sit down here and really quantify it because it's going to be massive. That man is loved in Ghana, I tell you. He's massively followed in Ghana, and by the time he dons the jersey of his new club to play football, here the deal is worth $150,000. By the time he comes out to play, the fans, no, coronavirus now, we don't allow them to come out for now, but he's going to definitely draw a whole lot of attention to the league and to the club that he's signed for. Massive one. We hope some of our ex-internationals here in the country can borrow the same leaf. We've seen a few do it in the past. Sani Keita, not the biggest of names anyways, but of course, if you go back, you notice that at some point, Rashidi Yekini, after his exploits in exactly, Victoria Setúbal and the big teams out there in Europe, still came back to play for Gateway FC and I think one other club, before eventually calling it quits. Here we also remember who again, Joseph Yobo's case it didn't come to fruition at the end of the day because the plan was for him to play for Kano Pillars, in the MPFL under the LMC Elite Players scheme. That didn't really happen at the end of the day. He denied it and somehow, it didn't happen. Or if we have something like that, now look at Ahmed Musa. He's still very young, no doubt, 28 years. Say by the time he's 32, his powers are no longer at the peak. He wants to wind down.
Ahmed Musa particularly, do you think he has anything to offer that big with the way he's playing now? Particularly, it looks like he has gotten to... I think it looks like he has given his all already. Yes, he might continue for another 10 years, no doubt. But it looks like that time where you say, this player is hitting this great height. I don't know, but maybe I'm not seeing him properly.
Just 2 years ago at the World Cup, we saw this man, deliver us against Iceland.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Nigeria's highest goal scorer at the World Cup with 4.
Very true.
And he's a player of the big occasion. Yes, like I said the other time when this argument about him being clubless came up, the people like that, you don't necessarily need to play them the entire 90 minutes. Yeah. He has a whole lot of influence on the younger ones, and he has even volunteered on several occasions to give room for the younger ones while sitting on the bench. He said so on several occasions. When you had, of course, you have so many younger players in that same position these days. The Samuel Carlos of this world, Chukwueze, Moses Simon, and what have you, all coming up. Musa is the captain of the team right now. He has seen it all. 2 World Cups already. AFCON winner, 2013, right? Yeah. And at the end of the day, under the current coach, you think he's the most senior player. In fact, he has 92 or 93 caps already with the national team. Just about 7 or 8 to a century of caps for the Super Eagles. He can't buy it in the market. That's what the young ones don't have. So if you're going to tournaments, you need such players, even if they're not playing all 90 minutes. Steven Keshi, even though he was much older than Musa at the moment, was there in 1994 at the AFCON, which we won, was also there at the World Cup, where we got to the second round without playing any key role. But he can't underestimate his influence in the dressing room because he has a way of talking to these younger ones and all that. And that's key when you go to tournaments. It's not all about selecting 23 talented players who have little experience to the World Cup.
All right. Well, we would hope that one of these days we get to see how. I mean, they will tell us Enyimba is playing Rivers United, and
now imagine Enyimba coming back to be in goal for Enyimba again.
Exactly.
And fans are allowed to come. Some people from Port Harcourt will travel about to watch Enyama play for Imba.
And maybe with Musa up front.
You know, I mean, Musa for Kano Pillars again. You know what I mean?
Well, let's get to the
You talked about Mikel Obi.
Yeah.
He played for Plateau United before he moved abroad to lead Oslo. Imagine Mikel, instead of playing for Stoke City, coming back to play for Plateau United, who are playing in the CAF Champions League. You know what that means? I mean, you can't, you know, if Plateau United had 5,000 fans watching their matches on the average. Now with Mikel alone, that figure is could double. You know, because people, trust me, people who are diehard fans of Mikel, you know, can travel from Port Harcourt to Jos to watch Mikel play. You know,
just like we did for the Super Eagles.
Exactly. You know, so you know, we need such players. It will help boost the league. Those that have spent their best years abroad. Ex-internationals, John Ogu, for instance.
Yeah, instead of just sitting in Lagos.
Exactly, you know, I mean, without a club, why not? Of course, Ogu at some point told us that he would like to play for one MPFA club before he eventually, you know, calls time on his career. So let's see how it pans out there. Like I did say earlier, go to South America is a norm over there.
Yeah.
Lionel Messi has got plans to go back to America to play for his boyhood club.
All right.
Newell's Old Boys.
Yeah. All right. Before we, of course, go on to talk about other things, let's get to hear from you. 0817 0000951 0810 9510951. We've talked about Formula One. Lewis Hamilton really winning big for Mercedes, and of course, Mercedes being crowned. They are constructors champions already, even if we'd have to wait till the very end of the season. We've talked about boxing, Deontay Wilder and his excuses. Alexander Usyk also took on Chisora, by the way, and also we've talked about Asamoah Gyan, who has gone back to the Ghanaian League. Today's Sports Live, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I make a great speech today.
Yeah, good afternoon, bro.
It's Sheldrak Amadi.
Sheldrak, welcome.
Yes, yeah, I want to talk about Asamoah Gyan, the former Ghana national player. Really, he has done well, you know, as you say, really no place like home. You know, anyhow, like a tour over the world, but he must come back home. At least him coming back home to start afresh again. At least he wants to boost the younger one. So, give everybody, not tell everybody that, yes, no matter he played, wherever he played, he can come back home and start up again. Then let everybody see. I don't think if not for this pandemic, at least the crowd would have, you know, been flooding in the stadium when he wants to play. But, you know, he has tried. I give him to do. Just by tomorrow or next tomorrow, he can be national coach of Ghana. So these are the things that most of our brothers are supposed to be doing. Right. When they play all over the world, they come back home and he lets the younger one show them how the game is. They can learn from you too, you know. So he has done no but let him keep on doing what he's doing.
All right.
I love that. Thank you very much.
All right, Sheldrak, thank you so much for your thought. Today's Sports Live, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Albert. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Albert.
Yeah, the issue is that, to be honest, I think in that dressing room, there's a camera there, understand? So anything you do, there's a caption there. And yeah, you understand? So I don't think these things are not necessary. The first one you lost, talked about the costume is too heavy, that's why you lost. All these excuses does not make any money. No, I know, that's the problem with we black people. And when something happens to us, we find an excuse. Go back to the drawing room, see how you lost, prepare very well to see how you clean back your belt. These things are not necessary, you understand? So I don't like when people, when you know you are not good enough in that very day, and you try to claim that someone robbed you. That is what he has been doing, you understand? Before you come up with a story like that, that's what he has been doing. Try to accuse somebody that is clean, you understand? So they should accept the camera to see what went wrong before you accuse somebody. So somebody, they can even sue you for that. You are trying to damage the reputation of somebody. You understand? So it's not right. It's what he's trying to do. You have lost your belt. It's a mistake that make you ruin yourself. So you didn't prepare very well. So that's the problem.
All right, Albert. Thank you so much for your thoughts, Albert. Today's Sports Live, good afternoon.
Yes. Thank you, the wise woman.
Welcome to the show.
I also get a big more of the show.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you. This is very familiar.
Jerry, welcome.
Yes. Asamoah Gyan did not fulfill his potential. He didn't fulfill also even 50% of it.
Okay.
He was so talented, and when he came to Sunderland, there was so much expectation. and it didn't disappoint. And all eyes were on him that another Drogba has come, another Eto'o has come, another Roger Miller has come, another JJ has come. A lot of people were expecting to be one of the best of Africa. And suddenly, he moved to a lower league, a lower hemisphere, down to Arabian world. And everything about him went low, went down. Though he was playing for his national team, but that was not the Samajan the whole world was expecting. That was not his level. That was not his height. As for Musa, the maker said that Musa is 28 years. But I can tell you that he has lost so much team that he has not to offer again. Not to come to Nigeria to play again. Thank you.
All right, but he's still part of the national team anyway. Thank you so much, Jerry, for your thoughts. Today's Sports Live, good afternoon. Okay, we lost that one. You can call us back if you can. The phone line is still open.
Superman, just to put things in proper perspective regarding Asamoah Gyan. Gyan is Ghana's own version of Rashidi Yekini here in Nigeria. He's their all-time highest goal scorer with 51 goals. Rashidi Yekini scored 37 goals to emerge as our own all-time highest goal scorer. So that's to tell you what that man represents in Ghanaian football.
Wow. Big star, really. But phone line still open 0817-0000951. 0810951091. Okay, we lost that call also, but do call us back if you can. Okay, I think this is this looks like the thought of Jerry. Ahmed Musa could be 28 years, as Emeka said, but he has lost much steam already, like a 36-year-old player. Count him out, returning to MPFL. Today's Sports Live, good afternoon.
Superman, greetings to you. Emeka, greet you.
Eto, welcome to the show.
Thank you, bro. Asamoah Gyan, the guy is right. Kudos to the guy. If I thought he was a Nigerian, coming to the stadium, I would have liked to go there and snap picture with him because he's a great legend in Africa. So, as for Emeka, is right to make case for John Wilder, which is not favorable for now. It's not even relevant. I know he's this man, so I'll try to make case. That is not an excuse. They have beaten you over and over. You should go and rest. Coming to Nigeria issue. Good and fine. We need somebody like Mikel to come to Nigeria after everything to play for Nigerian league.
Okay.
So that we will see him and we will love him. We love Mikel so much. I'm a huge fan of Mikel. So I will appoint Mikel to complete his 100 cap. If possible, surpass 101.
Then come and play for Aqua United.
If at all, you will come. Oh, my God, you are sporting. Oh, bro, you are there. We give him a captain automatically.
All right.
For him to be our captain. Thank you.
All right, Teto, thank you so much for your thoughts. Okay, Mikel is still playing, so maybe he could consider coming back to the MPFL soon. Today's Sports Live, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, this is Ivan de la Peña from Ogboko.
Let's hear you.
Okay, it's not a bad thing that Asamoah Gyan is going back to Ghana to end his career. That's a very good one. But let me tell you something. It's not every player that has the cool-headedness to come down and do that. Do you remember some time ago, Samuel Osei-Kuffour?
Yeah.
I think it was a World Cup qualifying match or something like that. They were playing, I've forgotten the country, and he was busy looking for his necklace on the floor, and which led to a goal, and Ghana conceded. That kind of a thing is not what we are looking for. So many of them, when they go to Europe and come back, I grew up in town in Port Harcourt here. I know some who will come back, and they will not even come and look at the people they grew up with. You understand? How do you expect these people to come down and play very well with their own with so-called subordinates? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get your point.
Some are like that. It's not all of them that are cool-headed.
All right, thank you so much for your thoughts. One more caller, we move on to Europe. Today's Sports Live, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my name is Otu.
Your name is?
Otu.
Welcome to the show. Let's hear you.
I want to congratulate the Ghanaian legend that returned to their country. It's a very good one. I think this was a time that it was normal to have drawn more attention of fans to the stadium, and the league will be very interesting.
Okay.
So if it's possible, if it's possible to our own in here in Nigeria to do, I will be happy and will make me to be interested to go to the stadium to watch the matches. But sometimes where our government weekend them holding their side of one of the castors, one of them they don't want to come. But if it's possible, we'll have to come.
All right. Thank you so much for your thoughts. Yes, he touched one or two of the problems that I feel would not make some of these players maybe not consider coming over. The normal issues we have. But we are moving forward. Who knows? With the way the LMC and the Minister of Sports they are going, maybe in 1 or 2 years, we will not have all these issues.
If we don't address the security issue in the country,
it will be hard.
These guys will not come back and play here, honestly.
It will be hard. It will be hard.
See, Superman, I remember sometime in 2014, was it 2013, before the AFCON. Or even, 2012, before the AFCON, because already this guy, Godfrey Babuna, was a key member of the Super Eagles from Sunshine Stars then. Was playing qualifying games regularly, himself, Omero, the Joseph Yobos of this world, under Stephen Keshi. His profile has risen already, but he was still a home-based player. Now, Sunshine Stars had a game to play with Bayelsa United in Yenagoa. Then in Yenagoa, the security situation wasn't the best, as a matter of fact. Very volatile, kidnappings here and there. Obabuna did not come for that match. And fans had trooped out to come and see Obabuna because he was a Super Eagles defender and all that. He didn't show up. And questions were asked, why didn't he come? We will gather that it was because of the security situation. We are talking about the home-based player already at that point. Because of his profile in the country, national team, regular and all that.
All right. We hope we'll get there. But I'm sure we'll get there definitely. Just maybe in a few years. We are close. We are coming. We're coming forward. Let's look forward now to a place where I feel things are actually done right and well enough to attract even their players to remain in the league. They hardly even think of going elsewhere. All right, the English Premier League. And we quickly look at what will be coming up today. We'll talk about the games that happened yesterday and Saturday. But Jamie Vardy's stunning away record might force Marcelo Bielsa into conjuring up a special plan when Leicester visit Leeds tonight. The evergreen Vardy has netted 6 goals in 3 Premier League games on the road this season and followed up his win at Arsenal with a goal in last Thursday's 2-1 Europa League victory at IK Athens. As well as scoring in every away game he has featured in this term, the 33-year-old striker has also netted 9 goals in his past 7 appearances against newly promoted opponents. So tonight, Fulham will be up against West Bromwich Albion. It's a Nigerian affair. We get to see players of Nigerian descent, first of all, and those who are playing for Nigeria. For Fulham, they have Ola Aino. They have Tosin Aderabioyo, who also plays for them. And, Demola Lukman. For West Bromwich Albion, they have Shemi Ajayi. But in the other game, Leeds United...
Okay. Yeah.
Shemi
Ajayi, the Super Eagles.
Who plays for West Brom. And Leeds United will take on Leicester City. We hope Iheanacho gets a chance to play today. But
Did he still out with injury?
Indeed, he's still out with injury. Very, very long one for him. But maybe in the next 3-4 months, he'll start training, or maybe 5 months he'll be back. But make up quickly, Leeds United, Leicester City. Leeds United were the surprising team of the late 90s and early 2000s. I think it was around that point when they got to the Champions League semi-finals.
Yeah.
Leicester City are currently the... I won't say 21st century. How do I put it? But they are also one of
the latest surprise team after winning the league in 2016.
Exactly. How do they measure up today? You have Brendan Rodgers on this side. You have Marcelo Bielsa, very intelligent, an astute coach on this other side. Can Leicester City get one over Leeds?
Perhaps a battle of wits from the coaches. You want to say Marcelo Bielsa, a man that is so keen to details and he wouldn't want to give anything away easily at all. And on the other hand, Leicester have relaunched their season. They're back on track. A win today will take them to as far as second position, as high as second position in the league. They have 12 points, with from 6 matches. They beat Leeds today. They go to 15, just one behind the league leaders, Liverpool. So there's everything to play for in this encounter. Leeds, on the other hand, have also shown shown that they can rub shoulders with the big boys. After a 16-year absence in the league, they came, exciting opening day fixture against Liverpool, and they haven't looked back from then. Yes, they lost that 1-4-3, but we have seen what they've done to Aston Villa already. 3-0 hammering of the Aston Villa that looked invincible at some point. But it's an exciting fixture to look forward to. Leeds have got Patrick Bamford, the man who knows his way to the goal, and Leicester in Jamie Vardy, they have a season goal scorer as well. So let's see what pans out today. But I'm thinking that it's going to be a very exciting fixture.
All right, a quick look at the results we had over the weekend. Wolves beat Crystal Palace 2-0. Sheffield lost to Manchester City by 1-0. Burnley, they were bunt by the Chelsea side 3-0. Liverpool, they did beat West Ham United 2-1. Aston Villa lost to Southampton, a thrilling encounter really, 4-3 in favour of the away side Southampton. Newcastle United beat Everton 2-1. Manchester United at home at the Theatre of Dreams, they lost to Arsenal, who had been dreaming since 2006 but realised that dream yesterday. 1-0 it ended in favour of the Arsenal side. Tottenham Hotspur beat Brighton 2-1, and Gareth Bale was on the score sheet.
And Mourinho is talking. He says we'll go to the Safari to check out the Real Madrid website.
Exactly. We'll start from there now, before we come to Arsenal.
That's a subtle jig.
Gareth Bale, maybe. You want to say the man is now picking up the pieces of his personal puzzle with Tottenham, little by little. With him grabbing a win, I mean, that's the best way to make that big statement.
Exactly.
Is he back?
Oh,
the real Gareth Bale of Tottenham.
It's left to be seen. It's just a goal he scored. Yeah. He hasn't played so many games. No, I'm not sure he's played up to 4 matches since he's rejoined the team.
So about 3.
And a lot of those matches you're talking about, he didn't even start. He was coming from the bench and all that. So let's just see what happens in the next games. But it will be good for his confidence. The goal yesterday, good for his confidence. It was not just a goal; it was a match winner. It's a goal that guaranteed 3 points. They were drawing at the point he scored that goal. And it will definitely boost his morale going into the subsequent games. The coach definitely want to also give him, more time to express himself. It's a terrain he knows very, very well, having played for Tottenham before joining Real Madrid. Of course, he's still a Real Madrid player on loan at Tottenham these days, but he will want more time and to also prove Zinedine Zidane wrong. Zidane did not really believe in him. Neither did he give him more chance to show what he can do.
How did Mikel Arteta mastermind Arsenal's first victory at Old Trafford since 2006?
Interesting. A good one there for Arteta. Arteta has somehow been able to beat virtually all the big teams in England. Even though, if you look at the table, most of those wins are not coming in the league, as it were. But yesterday's win against Manchester United is one that should give the Arsenal fans a lot of courage as well. After what he did in the FA Cup, taking out Manchester City in the process and beating Chelsea to clinch the title, and of course the Community Shield where he also took out Liverpool. A lot of people believe that they were going to do something great this season. He hasn't been very brilliant. Even with the win yesterday, they are currently 9th on the log with 12 points from 7 matches. But if you win this type of games, especially away from home against Manchester United, then you should be able to aspire at least because it inspires confidence, and that's what all these teams that win the titles do. You have to get the result against the big teams, against your competitors, while you dispatch the smaller teams, but more importantly against the big teams, because the big teams have a way of getting it right over the smaller teams. So if you're able to steal points from the big teams that vie for the title with you, then you are in good stead there. But there's still a whole lot of work to be done. They are still off the pace right now, not in the top 5, but yesterday's win, brilliant one. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang breaking his dog. He's been, he's gone some 4 or 5 games without a goal, and eventually was able to score from the spot yesterday. And Paul Pogba has eventually decided to take the blame for the penalty. Yes, he stepped on Hector Bellerin in the defense there and in the 18-yard box, and of course you can't argue that one. The referee saw that one clearly. It was a penalty, and Aubameyang tucked that one away. Good one for the Gunners. I never saw that one coming in.
Along with ending their atrocious record against England's biggest sides, the 4th victory from 7 games put their start to the season in more positive light. It's a different story for United, who sit 15th on the table and are yet to win at Old Trafford in the league this term. With the pressure starting to mount, Solskjaer looks like rumors will be still hanging around his head. But Emeka, was this a season-defining fixture in any way? Does it look like this will be the beginning of their search for a new coach? We saw him what he did in the Champions League, but he's not been able to translate the success in the Champions League.
Superman, that's the irony of it. You know, they have a 100% record in the Champions League, 2 wins against 2 very impressive teams, PSG and RB Leipzig. But if you look at the table right now, Manchester United, I'm struggling to even find them on the table.
I think they're like 15th.
Where are they on the table? They are 15th, like you said, on the table. Just 2 places above the relegation zone with a paltry 7 points from 6 matches. They have one game in hand there. That's not that's not where they're supposed to be at the moment. Ordinarily, if you look at the quality in the team and the pedigree of the club as well, and what they have done in Europe so far this season, then they should have done better than they have done there.
Okay.
Have they even won a home game in the league this season?
No, they've not.
They haven't won a home game in the league. That's
Manchester United.
That's very, very, very poor. You understand? So he should do better. And if he doesn't improve on this result in the subsequent matches, then the questions will come up again. The questions never end there. They always come up when there's just one poor result. Just one poor result.
All right, well.
You remember the questions came up heavily when they were beaten by Spurs 6-1. And that was also at Old Trafford.
Wow. Okay, we'll wait. After they beat PSG, finalists in the Champions, they beat RB Leipzig, semi-finalists. They're doing well, maybe, from that standpoint. But let's move on to another league. Barcelona, they are struggling, actually, or they struggled. But it was not the same story for this team. All right, well, tonight first, we have Villarreal come up against Real Valladolid. Expect to see Samuel Chukwueze in that one. But for the results, Real Madrid did beat SD Huesca 4-1. Athletic Bilbao beat Sevilla 2-1. Osasuna lost to Atletico Madrid 3-1. Deportivo Alaves split 1-1 draw with Barcelona. Real Betis beat Elche 3-1. Celta Vigo lost to Real Sociedad by 4. Valencia did play 2-2 draw with Getafe. Okay, in the Bundesliga, Hoffenheim will be taking on Union Berlin tonight. That game comes up by 8:30. Schalke 04 were up against VfB Stuttgart on Saturday. It was 1-1 it ended. FC Cologne did lose to Bayern Munich 1-2. Arminia Bielefeld lost to Borussia Dortmund by 0-2. Augsburg did beat Mainz 05 3-1. Eintracht Frankfurt played 1-1 draw with Werder Bremen. Borussia Mönchengladbach and RB Leipzig clashed, and it was just a goal separating them in favor of Borussia Mönchengladbach. Freiburg did lose to Bayer Leverkusen 2-4. Hertha Berlin played 1-1 draw with Wolfsburg. Well, in the Italian Serie A, one game will be on the way by 8:45 p.m. Nigerian time. Hellas Verona will take on Benevento. But for the games we had at the weekend, Simi Nwankwo scored the only goal, consolation, as Isai Crotone were beaten by Atalanta 2-1. Inter Milan did play at the draw with Parma Calcio. Bologna did beat Cagliari 3-2. Udinese did lose to AC Milan with Zlatan on the score sheet 2-1 in favor of the Milan side. Spezia were beaten by Juventus 4-1. A brace from Cristiano Ronaldo, who was making a return to the Juve side. Torino did lose to Lazio by 3-4. Roma did beat Fiorentina 2-0. Napoli were beaten by Sassuolo 2-0. Osimhen was there and they were still beaten. Sampdoria played at 1-1 draw with Genoa. And the French Ligue 1, Rennes did beat Brest 2-1. Nantes lost to PSG by 0-3. Saint-Etienne lost to Montpellier by 1-0. Angers did lose to Nice 3-0. Dijon did play at a goalless draw with Lorient. Nîmes lost to Metz by 1-0. Reims did beat Strasbourg by 2-1. Monaco did beat Bordeaux by 4-0. And Lille played at a 1-0 draw with Lyon. Well, Emeka, let's just look at Spain now and maybe Italy, where, I don't know, but maybe we should go and tell Mikel Obi to go and learn from Zlatan Ibrahimovic. You know?
What's the connection between Obi and... No, there are two different players.
At 39.
Mikel Obi is a midfielder. Zlatan is a striker.
But he can draw inspiration now.
Zlatan is a special breed there. You know, not all players perform at top level, at this age, the special breed. Just like Cristiano Ronaldo, I think Ronaldo will also do a similar thing at 39. He's 35 already. He's banging in the goals, giving you 30, 40 goals a season. For Zlatan, for a man that even went to the United States to play in the Major League, and he had to come back to to mainstream Europe again. Then you have to give it to him. 39 years old. By this time next year, he'll be 40. Come on. And he's still doing it at the highest level, scoring goals for fun, all manner of goals. He's known for the acrobatic displays and what have you. He was able to get one, over the weekend against Udinese, helping them to win 2-1. That's 6 or 7 goals now in just 4 league matches for Zlatan. Amazing feat right there. Like I said earlier, it's not something you see often. It's rare to see players at that age. Ordinarily, he should have retired from the game.
Should have been coaching. Anyway, but let's get to the message portal. We'll come back to the phone lines. This one says, good afternoon, Wisdom and Emeka. Please, how old was Mikel when he quit the national team? That was last year now. That was 2019. He was 32 because he's 33 now. He was 32 when he quit the national team. Good day, guys. What Gian has done so, no Nigerian player can do it. Our boys are full of pride.
No, Rashidi Yekini did it.
With small money.
Rashidi Yekini did it. He came back to play in the league. And this is our greatest striker, of all time,
Take, for example, Mikel, who has stopped playing for Super Eagles. Messi is still active football in Barca. Gary from Lupoku. And Andy Samuel, testing from Burukri. I love your show. Thank you very much. This one says, good afternoon, Wisdom and Emeka. I rep Man United. It's a painful one that we lost yesterday. Please, you people should help me and tell Oli that I don't want to see Pogba close to our starting 11 for just one game. And I also blame Ole for poor formation used yesterday. Thanks from Gotsy. This one says, Wisdom, my main man, I greet you guys. Congratulations to Arsenal. By the way, you guys are doing a great job. I greet you, Emeka. Mbega Eto Teme from Elius. Okay, thank you so much for your thoughts. This one coming in from the WhatsApp portal. This one says, good afternoon. It's good to come back home and play to add more value to your league for country that have a proper league, but it's dangerous in Nigeria, which you have to travel 8 hours on the road. From no photocopy. Good afternoon to you all. I'm not happy with my team Barcelona. We are not performing well. I think we are sharing the same problem with United. Anyway, congrats to Arsenal. Skifu Pero is my name from Eche. This one says, good afternoon, guys. I said that anytime United fans start saying Ole on the wheels, things go from good to bad for them. Anyways, I hope they're enjoying the chilling. They enjoy chilling in the 5th position. George from Port Harcourt. Snow White from Choba says, greetings to you. I'm a big fan of Leicester City. Today match is not going to be easy, but I see us going with a point. That's nice. I've marked you now, Snow White. You are a Leicester City fan. All right. Well, one more message from the message portal or two, and we run to the phone lines. Ibra is a king. No one comes close. Barca dominated Deportivo Alaves, but they were not clinical from Bad Commando. And Andy Samuel says, yesterday's game was bad, like very, very bad for the Man United side. Please, play magic in the air, little brother. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Sorry for that. We'll move on to the phone line. 0817 0000951 0810 951 Today's Sports Live. Good afternoon. Okay, the phone lines. Today's Sports Live. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hello,
I can hear you. Go ahead.
United fans.
Are you a United fan?
Yeah, this is Solomon.
Solomon, welcome. Let's hear you. Are you people lost though?
Bad market yesterday.
Anything where Arsenal win was, we know that they already win trophy with us.
Okay, Arsenal don't win trophy as they win on Abi.
That trophy for Arsenal now.
Okay.
If Arsenal win Man U, I don't have any problem with it. If the Liverpool Man City just but Arsenal, that's their trophy with us.
All right, thank you so much for your thoughts. Arsenal fans, is that true? Because I'm sure this celebration they'll be celebrating since. Today's first live. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
No photocopy.
Yeah, that is my name. I call from Rumibo.
Let's hear you.
I said yesterday that Arsenal will defeat Manchester United with 2-0. But they were lucky. They only scored 1. I still confirm what I said. Arteta is more proper coach. Even though they think the match again tomorrow, he will still win only. He has a player. I only have a player more than Liverpool. You talk of player quality, you talk of market value.
You don't compare to Liverpool.
But he's not a coach of Manchester United standard. Let them keep on chasing the microphone till we lose the trophy again.
All right.
Now start complaining.
All right. Thank you so much, no photocopy. Why do you people like waiting concern Liverpool? Now, for just allow that sleeping dog line. Let's just focus on Arsenal.
Their fans will always banter.
Today's Sports Live. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Coach Arsenal on the line.
Coach Arsenal, welcome to the show.
Long time. Let me quickly answer. I think now United I win trophy. Now they will lose trophy because for the past 4 years, now we win Arsenal. For we don't draw there too. Yeah, grandma don't become our point taker.
No, but Man United haven't. Arsenal haven't beaten Man United at Old Trafford in the past 14 years.
14 years. For 14 years, but for the past 2 years, they have to win us for their ground. We don't go there, collect points, come back. They come in the stadium, we beat them. We beat them for a cup. So now they will even find trophy for our hand. Here and then, matter no be fear again. Anytime we carry them, either we win them or we draw them. But you know we win us.
All right.
All
right, thank you.
Let me just celebrate the victory because we show the winners the story for change.
My brother, celebrate the story for change. Don't be small thing. Today's Sports Live. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, this is Uche calling from Other State.
Uche, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm really enjoying your program.
Thank you.
Your analysis. Yeah, it's nice over here. I'm happy for Ibrahimovic, but I just want to ask if we can be able to see Ibrahimovic one-on-one and ask him whether he can make a forest. What do we think that will be?
He will tell you that a tree cannot make it, but Zlatan can make it. Today's First Live. Good afternoon.
Funny stuff.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Raise your voice.
Please, I want to confirm this cruiserweight, is it next to the heavyweight?
There's also light heavyweight.
There's lightweight, yes.
Light heavyweight.
Light heavyweight, yes.
Okay, it's light heavyweight. Okay, you see our retired pro in Europe coming to play for our club here. They will not. Go and ask Adoke Mesemeka when he played for Sharks when he retired from the Super Eagles. They nearly break his leg. You know, these are our local boys. They are very deadly, our defenders. You know.
So they're not deadly in Europe.
You see, I watched that game, Sharks versus one EPL. This is. I watched it in the TV center. The defender nearly break that guy's leg. Honestly.
No, so but then Adoke Mesemeka did not play abroad. They were all home-based players in their own time, you know.
Yeah, but it's like home. But if he wants to go abroad, he will go. You know, it's like a proof. You know, the guy was shining then.
All right.
When he retired and become a secretary of Sharks and pro player, you know, he played for Sharks briefly.
Okay.
Watch that game.
All right, Silhouette, thank you so much for your thoughts. One last message and we'll be leaving. Good afternoon, Sports Crew. My name is Jude from Alakaya. Says, how many caps did Mikel have? You asked us the first one we told you. Okay. I think he had 91 caps for the Super Eagles with like...
If I just make 100 though.
Like, anyway, don't worry. He has done, maybe he has done enough in his own eyes. But, well, that's where we would call it a wrap on today's edition. We can't take
Superman,
any more calls.
I have the birthday shout out.
Exactly.
Yes. Former Yimba player, Mba Agukalo. Yesterday was his birthday. Happy birthday to you, bro. But you do me bad, he didn't inform me, you know. You don't go drink all day.
I was going there now.
You know, enjoy everything only. You can't tell me this morning saying that yesterday was your birthday. You don't try at all.
All right, big birthday shout out to Mba Agukalo. Another Imba former man now. But well, that's where we draw the curtains on today's edition of Today's Sports Live. Thank you so much for your time. The Sports Crew will be back at exactly 3 p.m. tomorrow for another edition of Today's Sports Live. Before then, we have Sports Attack that comes up by 7:30 a.m. in the morning. Until then, stay safe and stay tuned to this dial, Today FM 95.1.
Que sepa el universo cómo juega el Madrid. Sale el Madrid.
Court, voice of the people. Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt. News Update.
Good afternoon. Here's the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Wealth Wilson. Governors of the 19 northern states have held a meeting with key traditional rulers. The Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, and Ibrahim Gambari, the Chief of Staff to President Muhammadu Buhari. The Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, Senate President Ahmed Lawan, and other political leaders were also at the meeting, which was held in Kaduna State. The meeting was held behind closed doors at the Executive Council Chamber of Kaduna State Government House. The leader of the meeting are expected to deliberate on various issues, especially as it affects peace, security, and other developmental matters in the northern region. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission is currently interrogating a former chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Babatunde Fowler, who was also a former Chief Executive Officer at Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, responded to an invitation from the EFCC. Spokesperson of the EFCC, Wilson Uwujaren, has also confirmed the report. Uwujaren Fowler is being interrogated in connection to an ongoing investigation by the anti-graft agency. Reports say Fowler is being questioned over the 100 billion tax evasion allegations levied against the tax firm Alpha Beta Consulting. A former managing director and chief executive officer, Alpha Beta Consulting, Dakpo Akpara, had accused the firm of tax fraud to the tune of 100 billion naira. Nigerian postgraduate students sponsored abroad in 2018 by the Niger Delta Development Commission are currently staging a protest over a non-release of funds for their scholarship for 2 years after being verified twice. The 94 scholars are bearing placards with various inscriptions in front of the Nigeria High Commission in London, and official duties at the commission is currently halted. The aggrieved students said the non-payment of their fees have exposed them to numerous dangers, including the COVID-19 virus, as some of them have to work in care homes to raise funds. They lamented that due to the non-payment of their fees, they live from hand to mouth and depend on menial jobs for funding. The scholars appealed to the federal government to use a presidential authority to demand that the NDDC pay the 2018 NDDC scholarship students as soon as possible. They said the protest will continue till next week. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has insisted that the problem in Oyibo local government area of the state is being caused by the activities of the indigenous people of Biafra and not the Igbo people. The governor was speaking on a live television program monitored from Port Harcourt. Governor Wike tasked the Igbo people to ensure that IPOB members do not stay in their communities and cause trouble. The governor also noted that the aftermath of the NSAS protest has shown that the country is getting to the point where the use of force will no longer work. On a foreign scene, Zimbabwe's First Lady, Auxilia Nagawa, has denied links to gold smuggling and challenged police to produce any incriminating evidence against her. The First Lady also denied illegal dealings with Henrietta Rashawa, a suspect in a high-profile gold smuggling case, which was arrested last Monday while carrying 6 kilograms of gold in her hand luggage at Harare International Airport as she was traveling to Dubai. Police said Rashwaya did not have the necessary export permits, but she denied the charges in court and is awaiting a ruling on her bail application. Mangawa also absolved her son from links to gold smuggling. Zimbabwe's Secretary for Information, Nick Nangwana, has said police investigation had found claims linking the president's family to gold smuggling to be false and intended to intimidate law enforcement agencies. Zimbabwe is a major gold producer, and in the past, many smuggling rings have benefited from the protection of powerful politicians. And that was the news update on Today 95.1 FM. Do not forget, take responsibility, wash your hands frequently with soap under running water. Avoid touching your face in high contact surfaces to prevent coronavirus. Once again, good afternoon. I am Wealth Wilson, and thank you for listening. Do stay tuned as the platform on radio comes up next.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Government tell us say police now our friend. I remember what my papa tell me. See, make I mind who I call my friend.
Young lady, you're under arrest.
Oga, for waiting now. What can I do?
When you get to the station, you'll find out.
Hey.
Don't show, everybody don't drop out.
I say I know they follow you go anywhere.
Hey, you know they go anywhere. Go and ask about Officer Mark. You see, if I deal with you, nothing will happen. Nobody will question me. I will deal with you.
Oga, leave my clothes now. Wait. You won't naked me. Oga.
Do you have 200,000?
200,000 for what now? What can I do where you want to collect 200,000?
If you get to the station, you pay more than that.
200K for waiting. I don't get that kind of money. I don't get that kind of money. Oga, remember, you were once like us before you got into force. You have brothers and sisters like us in this society. The law says protect lives and properties. But what do we see today?
This life don't last forever.
Please remember, we have just one life. Why can't we live for one another?
Things will get better if you just hold my hand.
This message is brought to you from Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
It all begins with breaking news.
Now make no mistake, this is a difficult mission, and it will remain difficult for some time.
Then it keeps trending. Events, issues, personalities, all struggling to gain attention. But in the race for deadlines, the intrigues, power play, undercurrents are often missed or underreported.
Insecurity here is basically a product of poverty.
But not anymore. As the platform on radio steps in to fill the missing links on events, issues, and personalities in the news.
I'm not afraid of anybody. Yeah!
The platform on radio serves only the hottest topics and trending issues. Only on Today 95.1 FM. 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt. Every weekday at 4 p.m. Get on the platform on radio and be served.
Stand, greet.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. You're welcome to Jagbajantis High School. My name is Sound Sultan, your new mathematics teacher. By the way, do you understand Pidgin English?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now what we go use henceforth? Okay, carry your pen. Carry your paper. Them for my class. People of this world, them plenty. The sins of this people, many. So many. Many times plenty, multiplier. Many times plenty, multiplier. Multiply. The answer you get now waiting, they make poor man they cry. The answer you get now waiting, they make rich man they mess and leaders they lie. The answer you get now waiting, they make young boys and girls join party gang. Answer you get now waiting, they make innocent man rot inside the jail. Get it, and then agree to grant and bail. Get it, oh. Everybody, join Jagbajantis, make we solve mathematics. We did about our continent, so Oyinbo say about mass we go use take solve mathematics. So follow Jagbajantis. So ya carry by be for brotherhood.
Love your neighbor as yourself,
oh, for objectivity.
Be objective, gentlemen.
Be for democracy.
Military.
Now M for modification
of our behavior, let's stand to the same behalf.
A, accountability.
If you've been a chop, I beg you take them easy.
S for solidarity.
Oh, my shell.
We enter new millennium. Nigerians like 120 million. One population of 6 billion.
6 billion.
Divide that one by 120 million altogether. Oh yeah.
Altogether.
The answer you get now waiting, they make people they jar. Come on for Niger. Answer you get now waiting, they make people want travel. By hook or by crook. The answer you get now waiting, they make people they sleep for embassy, for visa. Answer you get now waiting, they make people they sell them property for ticket. Get it. Then they travel, see. Get it. Oh, hey. Everybody, oh yeah,
Join Jabberjatties, we solve mathematics.
with the Dabaru, our continent. So,
Oyibo say na partners,
we go use takes.
solve mathematics. So follow Jabberjatties.
So ya carry baero, be for brotherhood.
Love your neighbor as yourself.
Oh, for objectivity.
Be objective, gentlemen, ladies.
Be for democracy.
No matter how hard it is, let a military.
M for modification.
Our behavior turn to the stereo.
A accountability.
If you been a chop money, I beg you take a easy.
S for solidarity.
United we stand and divided. Oh my shell.
You just the HSCity.
Shut it down.
And there's the VG City.
Shut it down.
Micro level for HSCity.
Edge City.
Richmond corner be VG City.
Edge City.
You try add AJ and VG City all together. Oh yeah,
All together.
the answer you get now waiting they make Richmond oppress and then suppress. The answer you get now waiting they make poor man depress. But then aggress. The answer you get now waiting they make poor man they try to keep up with the Joneses. Answer you get now waiting they make poor man begin. They try to prove a limit. Get it. Now go get money then they finish. Get it. Oh, yeah. Everybody, oh yeah, oh,
Join Jabberjatties, we solve mathematics.
with the Dabaru, our continent. So,
Oyibo say na partners,
we go use takes.
solve mathematics. So follow Jabberjatties.
So ya carry by.
Situation in this nation, disposition, our condition, unexplainable pain in our hearts, not to mention brothers killing brothers, full of patience, salvation, resolutions are made, but always made with lack of vision. Imperfection is the order as we keep seeking solutions. Only God can solve this mathematical equation.
Thanks for your contribution. Now, any more questions?
It all begins with breaking news.
Now, make no mistake, this is a difficult mission, and it will remain difficult for some time.
Then it keeps trending. Events, issues, personalities, all struggling to gain attention. But in the race for deadlines, the intrigues, power play, undercurrents are often missed or underreported.
Insecurity here is basically a product of poverty.
But not anymore. As the platform on radio steps in to fill the missing links on events, issues, and personalities in the news.
I'm not afraid of anybody.
The platform on radio serves only the hottest topics and trending issues. Only on Today 95.1 FM. 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt every weekday at 4 p.m. Get on the platform on radio and be served.
I am a proud Nigerian. I have been placed here by God for a time such as this.
My back, I ain't coming.
The degradation, challenges, and problems faced by Nigeria are the perfect backdrop for me to develop and utilize my God-given potential.
I will not complain. I will not criticize. Rather, I will use my skills, gifts, relationships,
and experience to find long-lasting and revolutionary solutions to the many challenges confronting Nigeria.
Nigeria will rise again.
Because I am here, I will leave this nation
a better place than I met it. I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth.
This was high, this little light of mine.
I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth. So help me God.
Let me tell you how I got this far.
This message is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
And we're back.
It all begins with breaking news.
Now, make no mistake, this is a difficult mission, and it will remain difficult for some time.
Then it keeps trending. Events, issues, personalities, all struggling to gain attention. But in the race for deadlines, the intrigues, power play, undercurrents are often missed or underreported.
Insecurity here is basically a product of poverty.
But not anymore. As the platform on radio steps in to fill the missing links on events, issues, and personalities in the news.
I'm not afraid of anybody. Yeah!
The platform on radio serves only the hottest topics and trending issues. Only on Today 95.1 FM. 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt every weekday at 4 p.m. Get on the platform on radio and be served.
All right, a beautiful evening to everybody listening. It is 18 minutes gone past 4 o'clock, and I officially welcome you to another exciting edition of the platform on radio. 1 hour of dissecting trending issues. Yes, I am Wealth Wilson, and for those persons who do not know, on this show, we try to give you insights in some of the news reports making the rounds, right? The platform on radio is a program where we come up to slice up trending issues with correspondent reports. Remember that our correspondents are out there sourcing reports from the field. And on this program, we dissect their reports, having them give us more details. And perhaps we get to hear what is not entirely on the news. So without much ado, let's dive straight into what we have for you on the menu for today. First off, Governor Nyesom Wike insists on fishing out members of IPOB in Oyibo, local government area of Rivers State. We're going to have a field day with that one. And NDDC scholars stage protest in London over non-payment of scholarship by the Commission, SAD. And EFCC interrogates former chairman, Federal Inland Revenue Service. So we're going to see or talk about how that one will pan out in the end of the day. But let's start off first off with what's going on here in Rivers State with the Oyibo people and the Rivers State government. You remember that there's a curfew in that area. The Rivers State government, governor rather, Nyesom Wike, has insisted that the problem in Oyibo local government area of the state is being caused by the activities of the indigenous people of Biafra and not the Igbo people. The governor was speaking on a live television program that was monitored from Port Harcourt. Governor Wike tasked the Oyibo people to ensure that IPOB members do not stay in their communities and cause trouble. So let's listen to the governor.
The only problem in Oyibo is the activities of the IPOB, not the Igbo people. No, Igbo people are there doing business and they continue to be able to do their business. But these IPOB people, who they now say, well, they are part of Igbo, but we can't allow you to continue to destroy a place. And the Igbo people must rise to the occasion to say, look, you are destroying our local government. We can't allow you to continue to destroy our local government. The main side of one boundary with Abia, which is easier for you to stay and do business there, does not mean that you as this criminal organization, will use our place, destroy our place, and to continue to fight other people who will not allow that. So everybody should know that what government is doing is to look, who are these members of this IPOB who are destroying the state? Should we continue to allow them? It doesn't matter what anybody posts on social media against me, but it's for the interest of the people. Our people who said we can't, the way this IPOB is coming, before we know it, we are finished in the state. Therefore, stop it.
All right. So the governor also noted that the aftermath of the NSAS protest has shown that the country is getting to the point where the use of force will no longer work on the people. Let's listen again.
The security system or security agencies could they pick up intelligence? Now, if they did, what did they do with it? The kind of one-time destruction that we had. Again, if I told government the lesson that enough is enough, people, the agitation of people is going to the point that tomorrow they can roll out the tanks. It may not work. So the second thing the government must do, not just making police reform. That's not all. You can make police reform, yes. When there's high level of unemployment. So trying to reform the police, good, but that alone cannot stop the agitation of people. There's nothing that can create crisis in any government like unemployment. That's one thing that can crumble a government is the rate and level of unemployment.
Now, if you remember, the indigenous people of Biafra, that's the IPOB or IPOB, as popularly called, has been declared a terrorist organization. Now, even though there's been, a lot of people's opinion on that particular one and this particular declaration being challenged by lots of people, I mean, it's a very dicey one, what we have here. So how do we start at this point in time, especially here in River State, since it's River State that is, the key study here. Now, how do we differentiate between IPOB members and from, how do we differentiate between IPOB members from innocent Igbo indigents who, are resident here in River State or Oyibo local government area? How do we mark that distinction between the both of them? Because some people feel that, this is a direct shot at Igbo people here in River State. And even though time and time the governor had tried or has tried and is still trying to make people understand that what his grievance is not with the Igbo people, but with the indigenous people of Biafra. How do we make people to understand or see the differentiation between both parties? Because you don't know who is going to carry out any kind of grievance or, report an Igbo person he or she had issues with, all in the name of IPOB and fishing them out and getting them out of River State. So how do we manage this right now so it doesn't turn into an ethnic issue or conflict? That's the question. How do we manage to differentiate between IPOB members and the innocent Igbo people in Oyibo local government? And do you think that it's about time for the curfew to be relaxed, or the government is in the right direction, still continuing with the curfew for the safety? Yes, for the safety and security of the Oyibo people. Let me get to hear from you, 0817-00000951 or 0810-9510-951. Do not forget you can send in text messages or WhatsApp messages to the number 0701 9339 962 95.1 FM. Good afternoon to you.
Yes, may your days belong. West.
You're welcome, Prince Andy.
Yes. But my problem is that Governor Wike plays politics in every issues.
How is that?
Well, I am not in debate. I'm not debating about who owns Oyibo, who does not, who will go and who will not go. Those that carry that they act, those that kill the police officers, burn the police station, have all gone. They are not within that area again. That is how criminals behave.
So the
people that are suffering now is the innocent citizens, the innocent people living in Oyibo, carrying out their business activities. I mean, there is need for the government, for Governor Wike to relax the curfew. It's long overdue. People are suffering. Well, if you don't have video, I have verified video that you can watch. Even while watching the video or while your friend called you from Oyibo, you can hear the gunshot. Even the chairman was on 93.7.
We couldn't hear the gunshot, but he mentioned it anyway.
The chairman confirmed to us today, 93.7, 9 o'clock, that army were moving from door to door. I mean, it's no longer an alleged. It is something everybody knows. They were going from door to door, claiming that they have security teams in respect to that. I mean, it's not justifiable. The people are like, can you lock people up for 10 days to 12 days, no water, no food? I mean, what government is that?
All right.
The Governor Wike is coming back to point invisible fingers at federal government, Amechi and co, which is not necessary.
All right.
When IPOB members attacked Amechi in Spain, Governor Wike was that same day he was crowned chief here in Obiwale Cultural Center. They couldn't condemn it. The Kure people could not condemn it. PDP people could not condemn it. Today is pointing invisible fingers. I mean, I'm not in support of IPOB, but those persons who did the evil act have all gone. So let him relax the coffee so that people can go on with their peaceful business and all the rest. People are dying of hunger.
All right, Prince Andy.
Everywhere.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I've gotten your point there, which of course is quite valid because really, you don't expect these criminals after stealing, supposedly stealing, rifles from these stations and all of that. You don't expect them to still stay in their houses. So a lot of them have, absconded with whatever it is they got, right? It's just the innocent, Igbo or Oyibo people who are there suffering. But then again, do not forget, I'm asking, how do we differentiate between IPOB members now that we're asked to fish them out and make sure that we eradicate them from our communities? That's the Oyibo community. So how do you differentiate? How do you strike that balance, differentiating between the IPOB members and the innocent Igbo residents in Oyibo local government area? 95.1 FM.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from. Go on, please.
Yeah, it is now that before I love Winter, but the way things are going now, I don't love Winter again. I'm from River State here. But the way Winter is doing now, that is wickedness. I live at Iribe. The way army is doing things now, they do like as if they don't have a brain.
They are not letting people to go about their businesses, right?
Yes. They molest people anyhow, flooding people, going door to door, scattering cities. Okay, like the day for yesterday, they carry a doctor. They put this doctor inside.
Are you there?
This there?
They did what to the doctor?
They carry this doctor inside Poto, and he showed them their ID card. They still punish this man. Is this good?
A doctor that was going about his business, hopefully going to the hospital, right?
Fine. And their commander is saying that they are not doing it. They are doing well. They are not doing anything. They are not doing any bad. Is that the way the governor SST?
Well, the governor had said that he did not ask them to be high-handed in whatever they're doing, and that investigation will be launched to check whether or not they are being, very brutal with the people around there. They're just supposed to enforce the curfew.
The governor know them, or they write their IPOB in their faces.
That's,
how can you know?
That's the question I'm asking. How do we differentiate them? All right. Very angry, obviously. All right. And I think I also lost that one. So I will be checking our text messages and WhatsApp messages pretty soon. That's after I take one or two more calls, or I should just quickly take. Okay, I'll just quickly take this one. This one says IPOB remains a terrorist organization and cannot by any means be justified and be allowed to operate in River State. It's a menace against the society and should be fought against by the federal and state government at all costs. Those celebrating and supporting the IPOB now are doing so out of their hatred for Buhari's government. Even majority of Oyibo people had resisted and condemned the infiltration and activities of the IPOB in their territory ab initio, Oyibo could not have been a safe haven for IPOB to operate. And I'm asking you this question now. Since we got information that these people who have been proscribed from the federal are infiltrating our state, saying that Oyibo is also a local government in Rivers State, don't you think that the government and security operation or officials rather would have swung into action to stop that or reduce the number of them coming into the state? I mean, it's also a question we should ask, right? But anyway, it says, rather than condemn the army for their security actions against the activities of IPOB in order to restore sanity in the area, they should appeal to the state government to relax the curfew to enable them restock. That's coming from Godwin Amechi in Igritali. Thank you very much for that one. I'll take one more call and then we'll see if we can move on from there. 95.1 FM.
Hello, Wells.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Is it good afternoon or good evening?
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah. I beg, make a follow the governor to relax the lockdown.
What's your name? What's your name?
I am Prince.
All right, Prince.
Calling you from the city of Abuloma.
All right.
That one is no longer a coffee, it's a lockdown. It's a lockdown. Please, let him relax the lockdown.
All right,
and
then.
also advise the army to maintain law and order as it's supposed to be. Because army are killing people there. I don't know if you are not aware. Take this your microphone to that Oyibo. I believe if the military see your motto, your company motto, let me use that word, they will leave you people, interview the people there. You will know that there is problem in that workshop.
All right then.
Please.
All right, Prince. Thank you very much. Hopefully, we get to the bottom of all of this and normalcy returns to the area. 95.1 FM.
Hello, Lady Ware.
Good evening, Mr. Sam. You're welcome.
Yeah, blessed new month to you, Lady Ware.
Oh, happy new month to you too.
Yeah, Lady Ware, you see, when the people were cutting down trees, the monkeys did not know they were rejoicing and clapping hands, not knowing that they were cutting down their houses. And now there is no more tree. They will jump from one to another. They are now crying.
Okay, switch from the parable and just let me know what you're trying to say.
See, when the IPOP guys were mesmerizing, misbehaving, doing all kind of gymnastic maneuver, people were clapping hands for them that they are strong, they are this. Now they are crying. But the truth is that we can identify these boys. It is not very difficult.
How? Because majority of them are Igbos.
No, we should not be talking about Igbo. Let's just be talking about IPOB, IPOP.
So how do you differentiate them is my question.
When you are saying differentiate, you see, to heighten the tension in the land. IPOB, they are of diverse tribes. So let us just be talking about IPOP, not be talking. How do we differentiate IPOP from the people now? This should be the question.
Okay.
So by differentiating IPOP from the people, you see them always playing that their radio in Keke. You see them always gathering in newspaper stand on every newspaper where they sell newspaper. You see them sit there. Some of them don't go to work, don't do anything again in the day. All they see is how now the car will give order tomorrow, they will take order. So the security men can go to those places and track them down. And apart from that, the community leader, let them go around street by street, people. All the association of landlords, they should call them, summon them together, give them some ultimatum to begin to point out some of those boys on their streets. They know that if they want to. But you see, when they are doing it, the police should be the security men should be very careful to get this landlord one after the other. Because if they come in group, one may betray another and say it was
you see the problem with this theory, Mr. Sam, is that it might escalate. Somebody might want to, carry out their annoyance or hatred on a person by, calling the security personnel and saying that person belongs to the IPOB. And listening to the radio, a lot of people just tune into radio just to hear what's going on. Who knows? Out of curiosity, somebody might just want to listen to their station or whatever it is. So I think that there should be all that distinctive ways where we can be able to fish out these people, because the truth is, if we continue this way or if we go by what you said, it might likely escalate or heighten the tension going on.
Would you see those guys? The truth is that a cockroach can never give birth to a lion.
All right, Mr. Sam.
Those guys, they are like their master. That coward, Kalu.
All right, we're not here to trade names with anybody, okay?
Listen,
but I think I've gotten your point.
Listen, please, listen. You see, that man is too fond of insulting everybody anyway. But you see, Buchi, the truth is, they like them themselves. They like to insult everybody. So when you hear them hear that their radio, just start something. Security people can be very corny. Ask them some questions or say something about that. You will see them. They will heighten the tension and begin to speak some kind of interrogatory word.
All right, Mr. Sam.
You can know that this person belongs to that group.
All right, Mr. Sam.
You pick that person.
All right, thank you very much. I've given you 4 minutes there for you to express yourself on this particular matter, and I think one more call, and then we move on to what we have next on the menu. Tell us what it is or how you feel we can differentiate between IPOB and the Igbos in Oyibo. 95.1 FM.
Good afternoon.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is Comrade Jude James Fudonko. I'm also a social rights activist.
All right, please go on.
Let me tell you, based on my experience in travel around this country, I think IPOB is very easy to identify.
It's very what?
Very easy to identify. Very easy. I am very impressed with what the River State government is doing with the military. They should lock down that place. The whole community know people. In fact, they should extend it to Awaza. The idea hiding at Awaza.
So what happens to the innocent residents of that area? I mean, did you consider that as well?
That is what the problem is. We always hide under the case of innocent residents. Oh, these people are innocent. They are with no arms. Why is government fighting them?
No. You see, that's wrong. That's completely wrong. The fact that a group of persons within an area carried out, a criminal.
Let me tell you.
Tell me,
please, my lady. If you go to the police station and the health center that has been demolished, is it not the same innocent people that will use it? Were they not in that community when people were having their meeting, closing shops? Let me tell you,
So the residents of Oyibo should have gone to go and meet them for having meetings. I mean,
no. Send information to the security. Send information to the security. In fact, I was close to be beaten by this group of boys in Obibo. They shut down Obibo Timber Market on 1st October. That everybody that is from Obibo should stay at home, and they know them. The community, in fact, even the chiefs know all these boys. Why did they not open Obibo on 1st of October? Why they open Timber Market? Someone supposed to ask for reason. People were silent. They were doing illegal activities with these IPO members, calling the federal government coward and fools.
So you are blaming the people in that area for keeping quiet all along. All right, then.
They have been silent against this injustice.
All right.
That's why they are seeing it at the end.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Their activities.
All right, thank you for that particular opinion, which of course I would beg to differ on, because whether you like it or not, it's just like asking people why they don't go about reporting criminal elements around their neighborhoods. I mean, don't we come here and say that, oh, they are scared, they might likely be attacked if they don't have credible evidence or information on whoever they're going to report in the police station? Let's think about it from that angle. You cannot tell me that there are people who are there who do not beg to differ from the movement. That's the IPOB thing. So yeah, let's maybe we should just tune down with blaming the innocent residents around that area. But anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about NDDC and the said protest. Now, the Nigerian postgraduate students sponsored abroad in 2018 by the Niger Delta Development Commission are currently staging a protest over the non-release of funds for the scholarship for 2 years after being verified twice. Now, the 94 scholars bearing placards with various inscriptions in front of the Nigerian High Commission in London, and official duties at the commission is currently halted, right? Now, the aggrieved students say that the non-payment of their fees have exposed them to numerous dangers, including COVID-19, since some of them have to now work in care homes to raise funds for themselves. Students who had gone to the abroad, as we would say, for scholarship. All right, so they also go on to lament that due to the non-payment of their fees, they now live from hand to mouth and depend on menial jobs for funding. Now, the scholars appeal to the federal government to use the presidential authority to demand that the NDDC pay the 2018 NDDC scholarship students as soon as possible. Let's take a listen to the scholars who are protesting.
After that order was given, those in 2016 that were still owed were paid. Those in 2019 were paid. But the NDDC deliberately refused to pay those in 2018. Because of that, we came out again some weeks ago to protest after the NDDC called us miscreants and good luck and said that they would verify our scholarship. We came out and we came for another peaceful protest here at this High Commission. A week after, the NDDC Commission was in London to come and verify scholars. And each and every of the 94 scholars that have not been paid have been successfully verified. On the 12th of October 2020, the NDDC was supposed to commence full payment of the scholars that have not been paid. But as I speak with you now, no single scholar out of the 94 PhD and MSc students studying in the UK, in Europe, in Canada, and different parts of the world have been paid.
Now, isn't that just sad? That they've been verified twice. But before I go on, I hope you know that they say that the protest will continue till next week until the NDDC or somebody, answers them, because they've been living hand to mouth and depending on menial jobs, looking at the situation of the economy globally, you can only imagine how hard it is for them over there, wherever they are. So the question is, what's with the recurrent issues? I mean, going to verify them twice and not even, till date, not doing anything to help out with the scholarship that you had promised to provide them. Now, when would this issue of non-payment of scholarships by the NDDC be over? Like, when will we not have issues like this on the news or having protests by our students or scholars being sent outside the country to study? I mean, it's quite appalling if you look at it or think about it. But what do you make of all of this? Do you think that this is something that we can rectify as soon as possible? And maybe even if the federal government comes in and talks to, the commission, something to keep them or make them sit up, especially with the payment of scholarship to the students that they owe, by the way, because you've given them the scholarship, so now you owe them, you have to fulfill it. So when will we have these issues all resolved? The phone lines are still open, 0817 00951 or 0810 951 95.1 FM.
Well, I remember Prince again.
All right, Prince, go on.
NDDC, who is in charge of NDDC? Akpabio Anonko.
He's the minister.
The minister
of Niger
Delta of Niger. But see, I don't know the problem of this particular administration. Does it mean this corruption they are fighting, they cannot fight corruption up to that NDDC?
Well, first of all, right, this is not a problem of an administration. I mean, we've had severally when scholars who are being sent over or outside the country by the NDDC come out to say that, there's been delay in their payments or whatever. And this is, something that has been recurrent over and over again. This one currently is for scholars that were sent there in 2018.
Okay, 2018. Solve your own administration. Solve it. From 2015. So this one is even 2018. Just last year, 2 years ago.
But I think the blame should be on the commission right now. The blame should be on the Niger Delta Commission.
The commission is the federal government. Forget about the commission. The commission is the federal government.
All right then. Thank you.
The minister is the federal government.
Thank you.
Your problem.
Thank you. Thank you very. See, you see the thing here. The thing is, your problem should be on the commission. The Niger Delta Development Commission. Now, if the federal government is coming in, they're just coming in to make them sit up or tell them that, you have to make sure that you fulfill whatever payments you have for the scholars outside the country right now. The NDDC working for this region should be held accountable. Dragging the federal government into the mix for me is a no-no. I don't know about you, but let's get to hear from you. 95.1 FM.
Hello?
Yes. Good evening. Your name and where you're calling from?
All right, Ejoku Promise from Rumodumayo.
All right, you're welcome.
All right, I must tell you the gospel truth. NDDC, we are disappointed in NDDC. This whole thing is not what we are supposed to be here. They wouldn't have even allowed this kind of news or rumor to even come up on air. Are they telling us that the money is not available or what? Go to their offices, go to NDDC office and see transformers wasting. Go and see properties, things that are supposed to be given to the public, wasting there. It's not fair. It's not fair. This is the future of our children that they are toiling with. It's unfair. Are they telling us that the money is not there? Look at the money they embezzled that came up on air, that trended the news and everything. It's unfair.
All right.
It's unfair, honestly.
Most definitely is. Thank you very much for your contribution there. Trying to take this one. Okay. So I'm starting to have problems with the phone lines now. All right, lost that one. Please keep your calls coming in. I hope to rectify whatever that was as soon as possible. 0817 00 00951 or 0810 9510951. Do not forget the numbers to send in your text messages or WhatsApp messages to 0701 9339 962. Let's try that again. 95.1 FM. Okay. All right. I don't know what that is all about, but let's keep trying. And I will be reading in some of your messages and WhatsApp messages as soon as possible 95.1 FM.
Good afternoon, Wells.
All right. Finally, good evening. Your name and where you're calling from?
Obina from Port Harcourt.
All right, Obina, please go on.
I want to blame federal government because of I remember when Nigerian President Muhammad Buhari ordered about to pay. I think you can remember that time that these people are stranded. It's almost getting to 6 months now, but because of the politics and who is affected, like example, affecting the Niger Delta region because of is their children. Federal government of Nigeria not put any interest. That is the truth about it.
Obina, can I ask you a question?
No, well,
all right. You remember when we were talking about the probe going on currently in the NDDC?
Yes.
And some of us posited that, you know what, this would have been addressed a long time ago if governors within the region understood that these people are supposed to be working for their region, so therefore they should hold them accountable to the, development that they're not bringing in. So how about we have our state governors who look into this particular matter and say, see, you've carried my children outside the country and right now you're leaving them stranded. I mean, make them sit up because there's all the region that responsibility.
Sister, those parents, their life are in danger because if you still...
in this region cannot...
It happened to some people here. Let me tell you, do you know that there was this probe now? One woman was accusing Akpabio and other people, if you can remember, who have they arrested after the lockdown loot in the same NDDC.
Well, I think the probing is not over now. We're not done. We've not seen the end of it yet.
They are slow. Hair is supposed to roll from the presidency. All these people, every time they'll come out and say presidency, let the president come out. We are not seeing the president.
All right, Obina. All right,
Obina. Northerners don't like education. That's the truth.
Now we're dragging the Northerners into this. I don't know how that happened. 95.1
FM. Lady Well, greetings.
Good evening, Lawson.
I don't know, some people, something that don't concern the president, they drag the president into it. Everything they say from A to Z is the president. It's funny. Even an administrative is the president. Seriously, I don't know. Niger Delta, please, that is, they've been verified twice and they say they've not been paid. They are yet to be paid, right?
True.
Good. So, what is NDDC saying about it?
Well,
have you heard from NDDC, their position?
Well, we've not heard their position yet, but we only know that they've been sent or they've gone there to verify the scholars. I think once in 2018 and now in 2020, and still no payment is being made.
That's what I'm saying. The question I'm asking is, why after verification they are yet to be paid? What NDDC? Okay, you don't have the NDDC position.
Not yet.
Then you shouldn't bring it up on your platform until you have. We'll put it this way.
What position? Well, hold on. What position would be stalling the payments of scholars since 2018 till date? Is the question. If after verifying them twice, I mean, would we not have heard before now, maybe during the first verification exercise, that some of them, are not eligible or whatever? I mean, we would have heard something at least from the first verification. But the second one, a reconfirmation, for me is enough for you to either come out to say that, you know what, this is what is stalling the payment, or this is why they've not gotten any their scholarship payment.
That's what I'm saying. We don't have the verification report. You understand? For all we know, you understand, some of them may not be eligible anymore. There are rules to this whole thing. We don't have the verification report. Yes, they've been verified. What if the verification says they are not eligible?
For the second time, and then they haven't stated
it? No, it's possible. The Bayelsa here, former governor did it how many times? Almost quarterly. You understand? And so, yes, almost quarterly, 3 times, sometimes in a year. So, the report we don't know what the report, you understand, he's saying. That's what they are all saying, that they've been verified twice.
Okay.
Yes, they've been verified, but what is the report saying?
All right,
That's why most times I like stories in perspective, so that, you understand, we now know how to come in. But as it is now, I don't even know how to come in. I thought you have the NDDC position. So for me, until we hear from NDDC, I don't think I can comment.
All right,
Thank
then.
you.
All right, thank you very much, Lawson, for that particular one. Well, the truth of the matter still remains that after 2 verification, and this not being the first or the second time where we have issues of non-payment of scholarship by the NDDC, then the question would be when we would have all of this sorted out, because there's no how you would have sent students abroad to study and you do not have a list of the students that you have. So how did you send them in the first place if they're not eligible? That's the question, because there's a time frame, isn't it? And while they are there, you're supposed to make sure that you cater for the payment of their scholarship. It's as simple as it sounds. But anyway, because of time, we're going to quickly move on to Fowler's case. That's Babatunde Fowler and the EFCC. Now, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission is currently interrogating the former chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Babatunde Fowler. Fowler, who was also a former chief executive officer, Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, responded to an invitation coming from the EFCC. Now, spokesperson of the EFCC, Wilson Uwujarin, who has confirmed the report, stated that Fowler is being interrogated in connection to an ongoing investigation by the Anti-Graft Agency. Reports say Fowler is being questioned over the 100 billion tax evasion allegation levied against the tax firm, that's Alpha Beta Consulting. A former managing director and chief executive officer, Alpha Beta Consulting, Dapo Akpara, had accused the firm of tax fraud to the tune of 100 billion naira. So now, with all of this going on, I mean, you remember that I think it was Tinubu who was dragged into the mix of the Alpha Beta Consulting firm or whatever. And then there was the talk about tax evasion and all of that. I mean, to the tune of 100 billion naira. What do you expect from this investigation? How do you think it will pan out for Babatunde Fowler and the firm in itself? What do you expect from this investigation in general? Let's get to hear from you now. 95.1 FM.
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Hello. Yeah, good evening. I'm asking for Dayo.
What's your name?
Hello, my name is Daniel Pepon.
All right, Daniel, please go on.
Please, I want to speak about this Obibo issue.
Okay, go on then, because we don't have time.
Okay, please, I want you to please talk to the governor to look into those people's affairs. They are suffering over there. And the army also should not, because of 5 rifles, and be suffering the whole community. They are human beings, for God's sake.
All right.
That stole the gun and I kill the people, they are all scam away. It's not my taking the poor people over there.
All right then. All right.
The governor should rule us with heart of God and not like Indian, please. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. That was, I don't know, it made me chuckle a bit, but anyway, 95.1 FM.
Well, good evening.
Good evening.
Mr. Bright from the memo.
You're welcome. Please go on.
Yes. That's from the interrogation and investigation involving Babatunde Fowler and Alpha Beta. I expect justice. Justice for Babatunde Fowler, justice for Alpha Beta, justice for Nigerian nation.
Do you see this coming to a reasonable conclusion with all your expectation, really?
The reasonable conclusion is subjective. It depends on what you call reasonable sort of conclusion. If the man is not found wanting, it's a reasonable conclusion. If he's culpable, it's a reason.
Okay then.
If the firm is not found culpable, it's a reasonable conclusion. If they are found culpable, it's a reasonable conclusion. Investigation reviews either you are guilty of an allegation against you or you are not. So what should come out should be, if they are not guilty, they should let go. They should be let go, and if they are guilty and culpable, they should have their day in court. These are alternative two things that I am expecting. Nobody should go in for what he did not do, and somebody should go in for what he has done.
All right. All right, thank you very much. And also noticing that Alpha Beta Consultancy is owned by former governor of Lagos State. I mean, one would want to feel that all of this coming out at this particular time for me, for them, it would be probably a direct shot at the political mogul in the country. But anyway, let's see how this pans out, right? Let's see if the investigations absolve the Alpha Betting Consulting of whatever fraud or tax fraud allegations being meted on them. And especially Babatunde Fowler, who is now brought into the mix as well. So let's see how that pans out. But what do you expect from the rulings in court? 95.1 FM.
Babatunde Fowler, nothing will happen.
Why?
That one is just activity in futility.
Wouldn't that
Nothing
be because he's found innocent?
NDDC, who is probing NDDC?
The probe is still ongoing. The fact that
how many months?
Do you know how long they've been probing power supply in this country? The probe is still ongoing. There is no conclusion yet.
It's still ongoing for 5 years. It's still ongoing. I expect the thing to be fast-tracked. You know why? Because they are fighting corruption. So the corruption should have a limit. Are you getting me? So if you said, okay, because of their investigating power, so they will use 20 years to investigate power. Is that not a pure lie? Nobody's investigating anything. Nothing will happen.
Well, as I said, investigation is ongoing. We don't have conclusions, so we cannot say that it is not happening. All right. Thank you very much. 95.1 FM.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Can I speak on the issue and the NDDC?
Oh, yes, please, you can.
You see, I just want to ask, why is it that anything that concerns the South, the federal might will always come to play?
How is the federal might coming to play?
Are they fighting war in Oyibo? Why are they going about killing innocent people that they are looking for some few people that are disturbing the area?
I thought you said we were going to talk about NDDC.
I said NDDC and the Igbo issue. I will talk about the NDDC and I will speak about the Igbo. Because sometimes I feel very bad that anything that concerns the South, we just see that federal government will come with their mind.
But how is federal government coming with their might now?
People is going about killing innocent people and nobody's saying anything. All in the name that they're looking for some high-top members. Is there anybody
do you have proof of who has been killed so far by the military?
People have been saying that they've been going house to house, looking for people.
But that's the thing. People have been saying it, so investigations are ongoing. We cannot come here and speak in absolutes.
It cannot just come like that. See, we should get this straight in this country. Once that this is happening in a certain area, everybody should put their mouth and say, okay, this thing is bad. And something is not happening, everybody should say, okay, it is not good. Look at the North. There is insurgency, I need to get them here. Nobody has gone about killing people anyhow. So why should it be like that in the South? That is my take on that. But at the end of this, you see, corruption is the major problem we're having in NDDC. And until corruption is dealt with, I tell you, nothing is going to happen. And until we, the South, rise up and speak against the mess in NDDC, everything will continue to toy with our future and toy with our development. Okay?
All right.
So that is my take.
All right, thank you very much. Because of time, we cannot take any more calls, but I will quickly smuggle in some text messages. This one says, well, the Oyibo problem is principally IPOB. The Igbos are not all IPOB. Differentiating IPOB will be difficult. The people of Oyibo are dying, suffering. Hence, the governor should lift the curfew in that local government area. And that's coming from Adiala Emeka. Thank you very much. This one says, Wilson, I think it is very difficult to identify them. That is why all Igbo people living in Oyibo were afraid, and they're looking at the action of the governor as an agenda. That's coming from Onyesom. This one says, for once, I'm commending Governor Wike. Now he's waking up. Nnamdi Kanu is still carrying out various stress and everybody's keeping quiet. Let's see how it will end. And please present okay, it's not every report that you hear that we should take in, because it was reported last night in my own community that army was killing people, which is totally false. As I said, it's investigation. We let them know, even from today's hustle. We're trying to make them understand that all of those are allegations and we're going to have to find out first of all. But thank you anyway. This one is coming from KM Hosful, says, good day, Wealth. Is a question, Wealth. Who will the larger people of the Niger Deltans that are benefiting nothing protest? Ah, my God. This is it that you wrote this upside down, or I don't know who the larger people in Niger Delta that are benefiting Nothing protests to the commission is a failure. Oh, okay. You're talking about the students who are protesting. The truth is, yes, I do believe that the commission is faulty to an extent, but I really do hope that they rectify it, because I mean, 2 years is enough time to leave anybody stranded and depressed. This one says, things are very hard for us here in Nigeria. Okay. All right, you are urging the NDDC management to settle the matter they have once and for all, and that's coming from Mr. Prince. This one says, good evening, Wealth. Syncto from PH. NDDC boss will soon collapse for soft. All right, okay. Thank you very much for all of the text messages and WhatsApp messages being sent on the show, and the calls as well. But we have to close the curtains now. The platform has been a production of our news department put together by Chinedu Ibuna. Do not forget to take responsibility. Wash your hands frequently with soap under running water. Avoid touching your face in high contact surfaces to prevent coronavirus. Once again, I am Wealth Wilson, and we will be with you same time tomorrow. Until then, do have an amazing evening.